Hey, YouTube world. It's me, yours truly. How about that one, huh? Auburn Tigers again. Breaking those hearts. UK. Hating that. Hating it. Big time. We got a bunch of people in the chat tonight. Cleveland Brown, this one's for you, buddy. Hi-yo! Word. It's awesome to see you guys again here tonight. We're reconvening, of course, because the Auburn Tigers have proven themselves victorious over the UK Wildcats. Second time in a row after finishing them off in the NCAA tournament last year. And now at home to get that was the first really big test of the SEC season, I thought. I mean, there's been some tough games, but you take on Kentucky. I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year, but they're still, Kentucky. And if you're an Auburn person, you love seeing Tony Barbie sit over there. Defensive coordinator Tony Barbie over there, having his guys getting pushed around badly, strategically as well. We've got our first super chat in already, and it's Fat Crack. Of course it's Fat Crack. Fat Crack is one of our most loyal and awesome. Oh, my goodness, we've got another one coming in. BP Rockman in the house as well. We'll start with Fat Crack, though. Thank you for being part of the show, my man. He says, yes, sir, it's time, baby. Heck yeah, JG. Bruce had the boys ready, and they came to play. It's a good point. They had a little bit of a slow start, but it wasn't like that disastrous slow start like they've been having. Just takes a little bit to get them started, but they caught up to speed pretty quickly. He says, I'm hoping this pushes us to a great run the rest of the season. Thanks, and always, War Damn Eagle. Thank you, Fat Crack. You're always there for us, and I appreciate you, bro. We also got one coming through from BP Rockman, who just offers a War Eagle because he's a man of few words. But thank you, BP. You're a legend. Also, we got one coming in from Hornatius, who likes to go by Love the Cats. I'm sure you're disappointed, Love the Cats, since you love the Cats. He says, at the other horns suck ass. We going to 1 a.m. It is currently 7:50 in the central time zone, and I don't know that we're going to get to 1 o'clock tonight on the air, but, you never know what happens. We could have some crazy guests call in addition to a out-of-breath Brian. And I was also thinking about hooking up with my man JB from D.C., who is he went to school with me at Kentucky, and he's very into Kentucky, and I thought we might have him on the phone. He's a very reasonable and rational UK fan, and he's already texted me a bunch just kind of praising Auburn for the victory. So maybe we'll talk to him a little bit later in the show. I'd like to get Doc Dumpster on. We haven't had him on here in a minute either. But anyway, thank you very much, Hornatius. You're always there for us. BP2, Fat Crack as well. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat already. I think I saw some funny stuff. Andrew Ackerman says JG is going to drink some very expensive whiskey tonight. Probably my most valuable bottle sits here next to me all the time. This Knob Creek, 15-year, inscribed with it's the Auburn Final Four edition. But I wouldn't dare drink this. I mean, no way. Saving that one for a special day. Tonight's beverage is going to be Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. Delicious bourbon. I've already, as you can see, had a little taste. Hadn't had this before. It's just like I'm kind of working my way through the manufacturers, I guess, and I've never been a big Wild Turkey fan, and this is a Wild Turkey product, but I'll say this, it has been absolutely delicious. One of my favorites, really. It's kind of got a cherry thing going on a little bit. But we'll pour a big fatty right there. To get things going, we got another super chat coming in. Hold up. This is important stuff here. Super chat coming in from Ben B. Coming in again. Call out Blair and Baby. Of course I will, man. You bet. I appreciate you. That's not your first super chat either, so thank you very much for being part of the show and putting that up. Cleve, as I just mentioned, the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is what we're going to do tonight. Yes, for sure. Matthew Monson, and Matthew M., we'll leave it at that, is asking, JG, are we Trancy bound? I have asked every day. Yes, you have indeed. As far as the Trancy situation, some of you guys know my daughter interviewed for the big scholarship at Transylvania University, which is in Lexington, Kentucky, mere blocks away from UK, and she did not get the big one. They only give out 10, 12, 13, somewhere in that range, and just didn't quite get that one. But she got a tremendous scholarship nonetheless. Not the biggest one, but a big one. And I'm going to say this on the air, even though I'm embarrassed and I never thought I would say this, but I actually cried. I cried. I wept. The letter came in, and I told her that it had come, and so she came to the house and opened it, and I think she was kind of disappointed that she didn't get the big one, the big scholarship, but I was so stoked, man, because I got into Trancey, honestly, just by the skin of my teeth. I was not a great high school student. I got better as time went on, but wasn't the best ever, and she's been a tremendous student, largely because of some great folks who have helped a lot at Lamp. Matthew M. knows a lot about that because he's one of them. So huge shout out to all the people that have helped Maddie along the way, everyone at Forest Avenue and Baldwin and Lamp as well. So we're really fired about that. I know some of you guys have asked about that, and I appreciate y'all asking about it and giving a shit about it. It's awesome. So she's, it's like a Trancey thing, South Alabama, Auburn. We talked to I don't want to get too much into that. We're still looking at Auburn. Auburn's a little bit late putting out their scholarship packages. It's not going to be out for another 2 weeks, I don't think. So, we know what we got from Trancey. We know what we've got from South Alabama, but from Auburn and Ole Miss, you're just kind of still waiting on returns coming in. So it's tricky for me, but anyway, I'm really, really fired up about it, and she's worked really hard, and I cannot believe that my alma mater has shelled out as much money as they have to try to entice her to come to Trancey. I'm just as proud as I could be, and it was truly one of the great moments of my life, to be honest with you. It's been a 12 or 13-year struggle to get her here, and it happened. Any of you guys or gals who have your kids, you're trying to get scholarship money at college, you know what it's like, man. You're just kind of waiting it out, and I mean, I'm not the first person to go through it, but it was really, really rewarding. Canoe Man says, of course we give a shit, JGT. Of course. I know you guys do, Canoe Man, you in particular. All right, so big basketball game tonight now that we've got some whiskey in the glass. And my goodness, what a huge victory for Auburn. And the big thing about it to me was the way it went down, right? They had a kind of slow start. It wasn't as bad as it usually is, but slow start, picked it back up, and I thought the game was pretty much back and forth for the next, 30 minutes. I think there were 17 or 18 lead changes, a bunch of fouls called, and Auburn hung with UK. Every time it seemed like Auburn would get a bucket, UK would come right back and answer it because UK is a good team. And it was like that for a long, long time. And it wasn't until late, about, maybe 2.5 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left, that Auburn started to separate a little bit. And I thought Isaac Okoro, first of all, D'Angelo hit a big three. Finally, somebody would hit a three. I think they were 3 of 20 from three at one point, which is like, what? I mean, we know they don't have great shooters, but come on, man, 15% from three. Let's getting a little too much there. So anyway, D'Angelo hits a big three, and then Isaac, I thought, just took over, getting to the hole. Samir had some buckets there and some free throws, I should say, late, and they just put it away, man. Credit to Auburn. A really nice way to finish that game and put away a good Kentucky team. All right, we got another super chat coming in from one of our usual superstars. Spread Attack U18 says, Yo, Jay, got that dub, playa. Thank you as always. Spread Attack, man. Appreciate you. Love you guys so much. The best. You guys are the best. Let's see what else we got. Damon K says, congrats to the crowd at today's game day, and at the game you guys really showed well. Absolutely, man. So game day, as you guys know, was there this morning. We watched it. It's kind of I think it's kind of a boring show, but it was almost spilled that. Good God. It was in the arena, and a lot of students showed up early. The line was out the door, and it was around, and that was out toward Jordan Hare, and man, the support was unbelievable. Just exactly the way you think that it would be for BP, because he's always kind of been there for the students. He always goes to the students and appeals to them. Hey, we need you. And I feel like the last 2 years they've been there, and, man, they came through tonight too. And the fans too. I mean, you could hear that Auburn Arena was at a different level when it comes to engagement and just volume. It's a really, really strong performance, I thought, from the fans. Now, from the team, AU Taxman, I think he's getting to the heart of the matter here. Rebounding was incredible. They got in such great position. Absolutely. 42 rebounds to 28. So Auburn goes plus 14 rebounding against UK. Isn't as big as it is in some years. But still, man, that's a team that rebounds like mad, and Auburn was way better. I want to say Auburn finished with 17 offensive rebounds to 6 for UK. That is insane. Austin was playing his butt off all night long. Got into some foul trouble there in the first half with that third foul. Just drove me insane, right? He's hedging a screen 25 feet from the bucket, and they call a reach. And it was a foul. But why is your center hedging screens like that? I know the answer. The answer is they pulled him out, but that Nick Richards was floating out, and he has to go out there. But I don't know if he's the guy you want to be aggressively attacking screens like that. But whatever. He got his third foul. I thought that was going to be a big issue. It really wasn't. He was able to get back in the game, and he finishes with 3 fouls. So he goes the whole second half. Yikes. That's really, really nice. Only plays 18 minutes, but that's about normal for Austin. And he helped them a lot. He changed some shots. I remember Kentucky had a shot there with about 3 minutes to go where Maxey was weaving in the lane and was forced to, instead of just going to a regular shot, had to go up and under because Wiley was coming at him to swat it. That's the kind of little subtle defensive things that Austin brings you as a rim protector. And that's stuff that Anthony probably is not going to be able to do. And that's the kind of stuff he did. He finishes with 10 rebounds, 12 points, another terrific day. And it's so weird. We've talked about it. Austin was the worst free throw shooter in history, I swear, until this year. And now he's like a 75% shooter from the line. He's 4 or 5 tonight. Unbelievable. It's hard to get that done, man. And he gets it done. Nacho Hombre, also known as Major Panty Sniffer, with a super chat. I appreciate you, sir, for the super chat support. Also, Canoe Man, as is customary, always here for us. Appreciate you, Canoe Man. Let me write these down. I never want to overlook that stuff. Canoe Man says, raising a glass of Blanton's in celebration of Maddie's Trancy offer. I appreciate that. So awesome. Congrats to her and her amazing parents. Yes, her mother specifically did most of that work. And Maddie, too. Just so super stoked about it. I don't know if she's going to go to Trancy. I don't know if she's going to actually go. I want her to. She's been, obviously, because she interviewed there. And she's, my wife and I are both graduates, so we go there a lot every year or something like that. So she's been, but I want her to go and spend the night and go to class and shit. I want to make sure that she's cool with this because Trancy's a small school. And, if you're thinking about South, Ole Miss, Auburn, and Trancy, those are different worlds there. We got another super chat coming in, this time from Sparrow Empire, who's always here for us. Says, sorry, can't watch the whole show live tonight. Still wanted to say War Eagle, and we have to improve the offense. Javon should not start anymore, but we wasted opportunities to give Turbo experience. We'll talk about that here in a minute, Sparrow. I'm not sure I agree with you on that. And a super chat from J-Rob, who has nothing additional to add on that. But, J-Rob, I know this is not your first, and so I thank you for your support via Super Chat. All right, so AU Taxman mentioned the rebounding was huge. I agree completely. Austin Wiley was big, big, big as far as that. Oh, my goodness. DXH comes through with a $50 Super Chat. My goodness gracious. Coming up big. Says, defense is still sexy. Loved watching Higgins get clamped. Yes, indeed, that happened. DHX, I appreciate you. I know that's not your first, and I know you're here for us, and I appreciate you. I like that rose-colored thing, too. That's badass. Thank you very much for your support. Canoe Man asks, who plays point without Javon? Well, he actually says it's Javon. I need to get better about that. It looks like Javon to me, but when you ask him, he'll say it's Javon. So, Javon. Canoe Man says, who plays point without Javon? That's a great question. There's nobody. It's him and Samir. That's it. And the people that want Turbo to play right now are just projecting their needs upon somebody that's not even going to play that spot. They're not putting Turbo in an important game right now. And they're not going to do it the rest of the year unless there's major foul trouble. That's it. That's it, and that's all. And I know you guys are like, I need to play Turbo. And he's not ready. He's not ready. He has the highest turnover percentage on the team, and all he does at this point is play late game minutes in big wins or big losses. That's it. Low pressure situations, and he still leads the team in turnover percentage. So, it's not working right now. And I think essentially they were hoping he was a combo guard in high school. They were hoping he would be a point, and he just hasn't really developed that way. I think he's going to end up being like a Samir, a combo. I think he can play some point, but I don't think he's a guy you're going to want the ball in his hands all the time. Not a big deal for Auburn because next year Sharif Cooper's coming in, and he's really good. 5-star dude, McDonald's All-American, just a total badass. So Point guard situation is going to be settled. We could have a question about backup point guard, but we'll cross that bridge when we find it. CF Bruce says, JGT, what are your thoughts on a 3 or 4 minute portion of the second half where we stopped driving the lane and kept passing the ball outside the arc, forcing shots? Is that on the players or Bruce? That's kind of the chicken or the egg question, in my opinion. I would say that it's on the players, and you could see a few points during the second half where BP was berating Javon and saying, he had his hands out like this, presumably saying, you've got to run something. What happens is this team is slow to recognize changes in defensive strategy for whatever reason. If this is in November, nobody's upset about it because you're just kind of new to it, particularly with Javon being a starter. But now he's played, 600 minutes? He's played 20 games. He's got to be better about recognizing changes in the defense and then either looking for a signal from BP or Steven or Chad, whoever's doing it that game, and then administrating it, or just in his own mind knowing they're going to run, horns, or they're going to run 2 down or whatever they're going to run. I think Auburn is still way too slow diagnosing what's up defensively, and UK knew that was going to happen, and UK was switching defenses a lot, particularly in the second half, between a 2-3 and what looked like a, they had another kind of zone. I couldn't really tell what it was. And then they had a situation where they were kind of mocking a zone. It was actually more of a matchup zone look. So they definitely were changing some stuff up. Tip of the hat to a defensive coordinator, Tony Barbie, on that one, because they knew that Auburn's kind of slow diagnosing that stuff. And I thought it worked for a while. And I think the period you were talking about, CF Bruce, was when they had switched to some kind of a matchup zone and they just get panicky. When you see a defense you don't recognize, that's when you start doing the perimeter passing and it really goes nowhere. I bet you're talking about specifically the possession where Anthony was stuck beyond the three-point line. He's trying to dribble out of a double team, which is like the last guy on the team outside of Wiley you want doing that. Like, the less dribbling, the better for Ant, okay? He's a rebounder. He's a off-the-ball rim protector, and he is a pick-and-pop dude. That's what he does. That's it. Don't have him dribbling outs out there. He didn't need to be doing that. Got themselves in bad position there. War Eagle 9A says Jalen wasn't wearing an overshirt tonight. Thought he might get a few minutes. Yeah, talking about Jalen Williams, their long-term solution at the stretch 4. Left-handed player, plays a little bit here and there. Maybe when they got up, when it looked like it was clinched with about a minute and 20 seconds left, maybe they were thinking about switching and getting him and Stretch and Turbo in the game. I don't know specifically what's going on. DXH, man, appreciate you. He says the brain drain is the best thing going on the site. This feature deserves the support. Thank you for saying that and for, walking the walk. Appreciate that. Ooh, we got another super chat coming through from Chip. Chip, my man. Chip's been following along for a long time. He was with me at the Hobbiton years ago. Chip says $1 for each bomb wing I just ate for Bruce. SEC Championship or Sweet 16, and I'll do it again, War Eagle. So Chip is one of our Mobile folks, and as I understand it, he's been over to Voodoo. They have a new Voodoo location in Mobile on Old Shell Road right across from South Alabama, and we've had a bunch of folks go over there and support it. I know there was a big row on the bunker the other day when the receipts that folks were getting at that Voodoo location said Roll Tide on the bottom, and some people were losing their mind. I don't really understand losing your mind over it. It is interesting. Anyway, it was explained to me by Michael, the owner, that their point of sale guy who just installed like all the ways you get paid, the way when you turn a credit card in, the device they use, they call it Toast. They just taken the software from their Tuscaloosa location and they have it says Roll Tide there. Now the one in Auburn, and I got a picture of one today, says War Eagle. So they just were they had a lot of stuff going on and they just didn't get that set. So I think everybody should calm down. It's going to be okay. Thank you for going out there and checking them out, Chip. And if you did eat the bomb, I think it's actually a tasty flavor. It's just too hot for me to eat consistently. The other softies who work here at auburnsports.com, specifically BMAT, won't even touch it. Jay Lee will touch it. He doesn't like doing it. BMAT's scared of it, and Nate is scared of it. They're soft. I don't know what to tell you. Ryan S. says, and it says, go Jags now. Okay. I can deal with that. Chipper says no bad words on his receipt today, so that's a step forward. They promised me they were going to get that straight, and that's good. I think we had did we have Cliff Ellis in here earlier? Yes. Cliff Ellis says, if I were there tonight, my band would have serenaded Barbie after the game. I forget what the name of his band was. They played beach music. I actually own a Cliff Ellis CD. It's called People Get Ready. Yeah. And featured backup vocals from Scotty Pullman and Shannon Weaver. And I think CY was on that too. It's good stuff, man, back in the old days. Cleve C with a super chat. Appreciate you. Says War Eagle, Bruce Pearl at Auburn, synonymous for winning. Someone mentioned earlier in the show, thank you, Cleve, appreciate you. Someone mentioned earlier in the show it's almost time to build a statue for Bruce. It's getting there, isn't it? I mean, everybody knows. Well, I don't know if we know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at some point. I think he's going to stay, and I think he's a badass. Let's talk about this game a little bit more. So what helped Auburn win this game? Well, the rebounding was huge. They got better shooting the ball late. They were good at the free throw line, and they fought like hell the whole way. And they don't always do that. I feel like Auburn sometimes backs away at times, and it's not that they're quitting or anything. They get frustrated. It seems like this team's more emotional than the last team and more susceptible to big ups and downs. A lot of it was because Jared was such a stone-cold guy all the time, and same for Chuma. Those are 2 of your 3 big leaders last year. And although I would never describe Bryce as like a stone-cold guy, because as a freshman and a sophomore, he was all over the place emotionally. He learned how to kind of galvanize a little bit, and he was better last year. Right now, you got guys like Samir that gets up and down. Javon gets up and down. Dangel's super up and down. You don't have those. I don't know. It gets away from him a little bit sometimes. But tonight, they didn't let it get away from them. I think just the electricity in the arena and knowing how important this game was, I think just kept them on target. And it's good to see them do it because now we know they can. There were times, you guys were watching the game at Alabama. They just let it get away, and I thought, oh, no. When they get challenged, are they going to start wilting? Then they go to Florida. Same basic thing happens. Tonight, stuff started getting really hairy. And they stepped up. They stepped up and did what they do. Matthew D. says, JGT, this is the first time I have been a part of the live chat. Glad to have you, man. You are providing an amazing place for Auburn fans. Thanks so much. This is one of the best complete games we have played, War Eagle. Agreed, man. This was a very complete game. They did not shoot the ball particularly well. They finished, 35% from the floor overall, 26 from 3. Wow, they picked it up. 4 of 11 from 3 in the second half, so that's a little bit better. Huge at the free throw line. And second chance points, excuse me, guys. Second chance points, 17-5. I think at one point it was 15-1. But that was a big difference. Auburn definitely pushed some tempo as well tonight, a lot more than they have before, at least this season. So just trying to attack UK. They don't want Nick Richards to be that away from the ball rim protector because he's just too good. And so they were trying to attack him more and get him in a position where he couldn't just sit down there and swat shots because he would do that to you all day long. I think that was a big part of what they were doing. Some of the notes that I wrote during the game as I was doing the live thread that I know a lot of you guys were either kind of watching or maybe totally involved with on the bunker. Auburn played its ass off the whole way through, which is a really good thing to see. I thought Okoro was outstanding in the second half. It does seem to me that when things get tight, they tend to go to Isaac as the designated ball control guy, right? He's been doing that the last 4 games now. When it gets really tight, it's not necessarily Javon that's doing it. It's Isaac. And it's like Isaac has become the franchise player. And that's cool. He's really good. Samir, I thought, played his ass off in the first half, and then I think Okoro was the most important player in the second half. And I'm amazed that they stay in the game as well as they did with the three-point shooting so dead. That's frustrating to them. These kids are used to that. Samir's used to the 3 being good like it was last year. And it just hasn't really been there as much this year. Big super chat coming through again from Fat Crack. My man. Always there for us. Says Okoro balled out today and hit a clutch 3 there to help close out the game. His defense is so good. And if his jump shot keeps getting better, he will be dangerous. 1 more year, please. It is possible. I think BMAT said in the latest mocks he was seeing Isaac as a late first-round guy. Personally, if it's me and he's in the first round, I think he's going to go. You got to get that guaranteed money while you can. But he would really, 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 really like to play with Stretch and specifically Sharif. If it's a possibility, he would absolutely consider that, no doubt about it. Cody R says Okoro is going to have a bright future playing basketball for a long time. Super talented guy. Yes. You used to say, well, he's probably going to be the most talented guy Auburn's had since Barkley, but I think Chuma's going to be a really good NBA player too. We're just waiting on him to get back with his knee. But yes, he's an extremely skilled dude. He's got a little ways to go, I think, with his shot, but he's very quick. His defense is good. His spirit's really good. His fitness is good, and his free throw shooting's been really good. So there's a lot of good things going on with that true freshman right there. CF comes back in to ask, what are your thoughts about this team looking completely different at home versus on the road? What factors go into that? Seems like this year's team is affected by that more than last year's team. It kind of goes back to what I was mentioning earlier. I mean, last year, your biggest leader was Jared Harper, who's just stone cold all the time. Like, if they're up 20 or they're down 20, Jared's the same dude. This team, when they're down 20, Javon gets tight, Samir gets tight, and there's got to be a way to kind of loosen them up. The way they do that is through Okoro, because he's kind of that way. I mean, he's always just balling at the same level. And I think Sharif will bring that next year as well. I think that's the difference to me. I mean, it's harder in the league right now. I mean, the teams play better in the league. Teams play everywhere at home better. I mean, every league. But you've got to really step up and bow up a little bit more when you're on the road, and this team hasn't really proven that to me yet. Phil Petaway says, top 20 team, ? Yes. Hell yeah. He's really good. This team's really good. I don't know. Some people want to say that they're not that great, but I don't think they should be in contention for a number 1 seed at this point, but they're pretty good, man. Still got to play LSU, though. LSU's been on a run and a roll, and they look really good. And Auburn's still got to go back to Kentucky. We'll just see if they can grow a little bit before that game. Let me switch over to the schedule and take a look at what they've got going on there. Next game's going to be Arkansas. Is that Tuesday? I think that's 1, 2, 3. That's Tuesday, I guess. Damn. They got another Tuesday game at Arkansas, 6 o'clock. No more late tips, so that's going to be good. Arkansas, let's see. They got beat by South Carolina the other night at home, and the Gamecocks were just ahead pretty much the whole second half. And the margin was big, and then it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but then South Carolina made some plays in the last minute and sealed that one up. And the guy there you got to worry about is Isaiah Joe. He's a tremendous player, but I like that coach a lot. Arkansas is a tough place to play. So that's going to be a big challenge. And then you've got LSU next weekend for a morning game. That's a good place to have that game in Auburn Arena. But LSU's good. I'm still confused, as many of you are, that how Will Wade is still the coach at LSU and there's no big deal. It's funny to me, too. It's strange to me, too. Let's see what else we got going on here. AU Guy says JG LSU isn't that good. They've won 6 games by less than 4. We will destroy them next Saturday. We got you down, AU Guy 159 for that one right there. And Jeff C. correctly surmises that it's going to be a tough one at Bud Walton. I agree completely. Yes, that's going to be a toughie. Let's take a look at the standings because I've got them queued up here. LSU 8-0, 17-4 overall. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a look. I can't queue this up for you guys because I didn't pull it up, but LSU's Ken Palm. We'll see if AU Guy's right about this. Let's see what their big wins and big losses are. I don't know how he still has a job. Didn't they have him like Patrick? Patrick D is back again. Oh my God. A $150 super chat. We know him better as Why Not AU. War Eagle, oh my gosh, cooking gumbo? Oh, that sounds so good. So I have to get back to my roux, drinking Reservoir. Everyone have a great night. Man, he just comes in and drops that one and says, I'm out. Thank you, Patrick D, for your support of the show. You've been here for us. And it's appreciated. That gumbo sounds absolutely delicious. We make a little Zada Rains version here that I like. I bet you yours is way better. If you're actually making roux, it sounds delicious. think you ought to bring some of that by. I'd pay you back for it. AU Taxman notes, and I don't know about this, but he says, JG, the bunker seems to be getting better at not losing its mind during basketball games. That is good to hear. I know Joker started a thread about how Auburn was going to get waxed today, and in conjunction with UGA locking down the Broderick, the offensive lineman, that this is going to be one of the worst days in Auburn history or whatever. I was like, what? And, of course, now everybody's, chastising him, as they should, rightly chastising him. But you know what's going on like that. Dan Webb says, mic drop. Absolutely. That's just, here you go, JG. Big super chat. I'm out. Deuces. I'm drinking. And by the way, I'm drinking Reservoir. Out. It's like LeBron, his big speech last night before the game honoring Kobe. He just said his last words and laid that mic down and was bounce. Man, that's a badass dude right there. Mark Lee says, roux is actually just a fancy word for edible paste. Little cooking humor there, huh? Okay, back to LSU. They lose 4 of their first 12 games this year. Lost to VCU's pretty good. Utah State's pretty good. Both very close losses. They lost to East Tennessee State at home. They got waxed in that game. That's a former Pearl assistant, by the way, at ETSU. And then they lose to Southern Cal by 2. So of their 4 losses, 3 of them are by 2 points. And let's see, in the SEC, they have beaten Tennessee at Tennessee. Tennessee's kind of shitty this year. Arkansas at home, Mississippi State at home. That was a very close game there. A&M away, needed overtime for that one. Ole Miss away by 4. Florida at home by 2. Texas away by 2. I remember that game was really close. Alabama at home by 14. And Ole Miss, again, this time at home by 10. I don't know. It's pretty quality wins. They haven't really messed with the big-time teams yet, though. I mean, Alabama. No, they beat Alabama at home. Alabama's been playing better. I know they're down a bunch of dudes right now, but they've been a lot better lately. Oh, my goodness. Patrick D comes back with a retort. He says, I love my edible paste. I spend an hour stirring and looking after it. It's therapy. Man, that sounds just too good to be true, my man. Why not AU coming through? My goodness. Wow. Thank you, Why Not AU. You're the man. And I personally would never have ever characterized it as edible paste. A good roux is worth so much. Scotty P says, JG's tips have never looked more glorious. I'm drinking Bullet because I can't find Buffalo Trace anywhere in the Gump. Yeah, it is tough. You could find some at my house, though. I have a little bit left. I'm completely out of Eagle Rare, but I tell you what, I have a fairy godfather whose name is Chris. We're going to call him Chris, last name redacted, who is on a business trip down in the southern states and actually had seen Eagle Rare, contacted me and said, hey, man, you want me to get you some Eagle Rare? I mean, that's what a friend does right there. That's what I'm speechless. So he's muling me a couple bottles of Eagle Rare up from a southern location, and I'm really, really fired up about it because I love Eagle Rare. I know the folks on the Reddit, on the Bourbon board, they love the shit on Eagle Rare and say that it's just super basic and it's a beginner's bourbon. Don't care, because I think an advanced bourbon means it tastes like ass and they try to convince themselves that it tastes good. Eagle Rare, to me, is a delicious bourbon. You like what you like, guys. It's just like music, I think. If you like listening to Ariana Grande, just do it. Why do you have to be ashamed of it? You know, if you like drinking Evan Williams single barrel and it's $24.99 at ABC, who cares? If you like it, why does it matter? It doesn't. Got another super chat coming through from Rain8689. Appreciate you, bro, saying wouldn't let me buy a super chat for $6.90. So this will have to do drinking a crispy, oh goodness, strawberry Bud Light seltzer, bought at the Walmarts. War Eagle. A crispy strawberry Bud Light seltzer. Now, I cannot make fun of you for that after having just sat there and told people to not be made fun of over their bourbon choices, but that's a questionable decision. But I support you, and thank you very much for that super chat. You're awesome. Jeff Cheney jokes that JG is retiring early. Yeah, we're not quite there yet, are we? I will say this, though, man. So our YouTube channel, which I basically was just not even messing with until the second half. Oh, my goodness gracious. Chris A. comes through. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. Chris A comes through, says, Macklemore stepped up on D tonight. Isn't it funny that you get more super chats during basketball season? He's sipping on Angel's Envy. A delicious bourbon made in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. A gift from coworkers. Those are the kind of coworkers that you should feel good about. I was in the ABC in Auburn last week, and this dude who was about 25 or 30, he'd actually brought the shopping cart around, which, you know you're a real drinker when you're bringing a shopping cart into the ABC. And what he was doing was he was buying a bunch of bottles of Jefferson's for like an office giveaway or something. Like, I don't know if the boss had said, hey, we're going to get everybody a bottle of Jefferson's, or we're going to whatever. But he bought like 10 bottles of Jefferson's Ocean at Sea. I was like, that's the kind of boss and the kind of work environment that I like to see. And I would do that if I was ever somebody's boss. Except that the guys that work with me don't want to drink. But that's cool. It's cool. It's not a big deal. I'll be the alcoholic, and I'll let them be nice and sober. AU Taxman says, Eagle Rare is fantastic. I buy it anytime I see it and just stash it away. You are a smart man, and you're also a wise drinker, sir. Absolutely. Chris A., thank you very much, seriously, for jumping in there. Appreciate you. Phil P. says, Javon can play defense, though. Yeah, Javon. So he did not have a great game scoring the basketball. Let's see what his numbers were. That's not the best looking thing there, is it? Okay. So Javon gets 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting, not great, but he gets 5 rebounds, which is great for a point guard, and he goes 4 assists, 1 turnover. So at the end of the day, BP is going to probably look at that line for Javon and say, not great, but I'm good with it, because other guys were stepping up. His big issue with Javon is that he doesn't administrate the plays well enough. And I don't have an answer for why they don't do that consistently. They don't have an answer for why they don't do that consistently. And if they had an answer, you wouldn't see it. They would just switch crisply from man to zone. Maybe it takes 5 seconds. Maybe it takes a possession to figure out what they're doing and adjust to it. It shouldn't take like 5 possessions and you never really get it fixed. I'm confused by that. Anyway, Phil P says they're going to make the tourney again. Indeed, Auburn's definitely going to the tournament this year. That's going to happen. Jeff C. notes that Auburn is now 49-12 the last 2 years, beat Kentucky twice. North Carolina, who's terrible this year. Maybe they just can't get over getting beat by Auburn as mercilessly as they were last year, and then Kansas as well. That was an incredible run last year. One of the all-timers. Truly. And they're showing this year. I mean, guys, seriously, we talked about this on the bunker a little bit. This is supposed to be kind of a rebuilding year for Pearl. I mean, let's be real about it. I mean, the class he has coming in already, just the guys he's already got, that's a wonder class from an Auburn perspective. Hell, from anybody's perspective. And then he's still got room for at least 1 or 2 more. Well, at least 1 more. And he's in for some really top recruits. Jalen's, he was getting serenaded today on game day, and I think he said something on Twitter about it, that he was flattered by the move. So that was pretty sweet. And what I'm saying is, BP's already got the best class he's ever signed, in my opinion, and in Jeffrey Lee's opinion, and he can still augment it with another 5-star guy. It's down to Auburn and Memphis on that one, so we'll see. Mark L. says Envy is aged in port barrels. That is correct, yes. I think they were one of the first to really do that consistently. They've been doing that all along. Now you see some bourbons that do that kind of as a different thing, but I think that's kind of been their gig all the way. And there's a lot of folks on the bunker who love the Angel's Envy Rye as kind of like almost like a dessert bourbon. Looks like BP's press conference is up on our channel now. That young Nate has put up. BMAT is there as well, probably breathless, as you guys know. Let's see, Jeff C. Jalen Green with a banger on the end of it. Yeah, absolutely. Jalen Green's the one. Chris A. says Wiley had 2 awesome tip-ins tonight. Only fat-fingered that ball once that I can remember. Yeah, I know. He was pretty good, right? And 2 of those tip-ins, I don't have any idea how he got it in. Like that late one that was about 2.5 minutes to go, I have no idea how he tipped that ball in. Yeah, it's just like a miracle. That stuff happens to me in FIFA all the time. I'm like, how the hell does that happen? Other things I thought were notable. 3-point shooting was terrible. It was a little bit better in the second half, but it was really bad in the first half. This drove me crazy, and I know BP is going to lose his shit over this at some point. They got double team split 3 times in the high post. If that happens once, BP's going to have a meltdown. If it happens twice, somebody's getting their ass kicked. If it happens 3 times, he's going to throw somebody out of the arena. I'm telling you. It happened 3 times. And Maxey did it late and got to the hole, and I thought that was going to be I think he ended up getting an and one opportunity, and I think he missed the free throw. I thought that was going to be potentially one of those plays that was going to swing the momentum to Kentucky's side, but Auburn was able to turn it around. Patrick D says Angels Envy Rye aged in Jamaican rum casks. It's a banger. Definitely a sweet one. I have seen it lately at the Auburn ABC where Canuckins used to be. They've had it, I think, the last 3 times I've been over there. And I saw it at the East Chase ABC in Montgomery. I don't think they had it there last time. They had it last week. So splitting the double teams is something they got to work on that. You should not be wide because it was the high post deal, and you should not be wide enough on defense to let him cut inside of you like that. They should know that. They know that. They've been taught that. They've practiced that. They've repped it. And for it to happen over and over again, first of all, it shows you how quick Kentucky's guards are. But second of all, defensively, that's a fundamental thing you got to work on right there. And then Higgins was poor again. A very poor game for Ashton Higgins. And I mean, I'm not trying to talk smack about the kid, but he's played Auburn 4 times now, and 3 of them have been terrible. He had a decent performance. I think he had a 14-pointer. I can't remember which one it was last year. It was one of the regular season games. But he finishes, 6 points maybe? 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 3 assists, 6 turnovers, minus 11. So not good at all from Ashton Higgins, the point guard. And I always wonder, it was coming down. It was down to Auburn and Kentucky for him. He's from Atlanta, or he's from Georgia. And I just wonder if it gets in his head a little bit. There was a lot of talk about Ashton Higgins coming to Auburn. And he would be the featured performer there right now. Canoe Man says over under until B-Man has to carry an oxygen tank with him everywhere. It's weird. B-Man's a walking fool too, dude. He walks every day. He walks like, they shoot for 10,000 steps. He gets like 15,000 every day. I don't know why he's so winded like that. Jeff C says JG been coughing a ton the last week. You need to get that checked out. I don't cough a ton, but I have been coughing. My wife has something or other. I don't know what it is. She runs a child care center here in town, and so she's always exposed to a bunch of, whatever, viruses the kids bring in all the time and runny noses and all that stuff. And it's a miracle. When we first got here and she first started working there, we were sick all the time. I think our immune systems have picked up, and we don't get as sick as often, but usually once a year we get something. And it doesn't really make me feel sick. It's just a little bit of coughing. I don't know. Nothing a little bourbon won't fix. Cleve C says 15-year Whistle Pig rye is really good also. That sounds good. I know that Whistle Pig runs high. It's expensive. I haven't actually had any. I would like to have some. AU Taxman jokes that JG has coronavirus. No, I don't. I haven't been to China in days. It kind of creeped me out. My daughter was showing me this, that they believe that virus started Spot Zero was a market where they were selling pets. Well, not pets, but they were selling animals, and they were also serving food. So it'd be like going to Pet Supplies Plus and ordering a steak and just being like, hey, this is normal. No big deal. It's all good. Hey, man, I know that I don't live in Wuhan, China, and I probably don't understand their way of life, nor do they understand my way of life, but I feel like those should be 2 separate enterprises. I don't know. AU Guy 159 comes back, says for Higgins, it's better D than it is poor O. Word. They definitely made him an area of emphasis for sure. Nick Richards, also, who's been playing really well. Lately gets 7 points on 3 of 8 shooting, 7 boards. Had the 1 block, played 38 minutes. Wow, that's an Iron Man right there. Goes -6 on the plus-minus. Nick Richards, great player. Not a great game for him, but not a disaster either. So, I don't know. But Auburn made him work. He has games where people don't make him work, and he just tears that ass up, but not tonight. Quickly, however, was tearing ass up, wasn't he? I think they were kind of pressuring Higgins and kind of making sure that he wasn't a big part of it. And then Quickly was just posting fools up and getting to the hole, and him and Maxie both. And a lot of that is just stuff that BP's going to be working on in practice. Just the split double teams is just kind of a symptom of that. We got a super chat coming through from Call Me Biscuit. Give me JGT total on super chats tonight, going for 2,000. We're going to fall short of that one, I think. Call Me Biscuit. But thank you for jumping in. Like Patrick D says, let's do it. You have done so much, Patrick. Thank you so much. Jeff C says he was a teacher for 20 years and he stayed sick. You know what I'm talking about then. Let's see where B-Matt's at as far as getting his work done tonight. There he is. So I can't talk as well when I'm texting. My daughter can sit there and just be like, oh, really? Oh, okay. And I don't know. She's just younger than I. Let's see. Fat Crack says, I know AUB ball. We all would agree with that. Cleve Cunningham says, JGT, what was the final 4 bourbon bottles at Knob Creek? It is indeed Knob Creek. It's Knob Creek 15. I don't know if y'all could see the actual writing on that, but it's Knob Creek 15. I'm making an ass out of it. So I think the regular single barrel select, I'm not sure that it has an age statement on it. I've seen 10 and 12 year. I think they have the blue sticker on the 12 year. And this is 15. It was barreled in June of 2004 and it was bottled on July 23rd, 2019. From Warehouse W on the 4th floor. I was shocked when I took our tour to Willett like about a month ago now. Just how tight those warehouses are, man. They are old school, and I mean those barrels are like neck to neck. It's weird. It's just dark in there and danky, and everything's in a barrel, just like you would expect. But I thought there'd be more room. I don't even know how they operate. I don't know how they move around, and if it's time to get a barrel out, I don't really understand how you get it out. There's not much room, but they know what they're doing. Steve G says Knob Creek rules. It's a delicious bourbon. It is a delicious go-to bourbon, and you can almost always find some variation of it. At my ABC, they've got like 6 variations of it. But I feel like it's a quality product. Haven't heard back from B-Matt yet. Sometimes when he's writing, he just kind of puts his phone away and just doesn't really mess with it too much. Let's see. Cleve says, can you get your hands on any more of those final 4 bottles? I do not believe so. I had to work one out with my friend Buddy on this one, and he was generous enough. He asked me a long time ago if I wanted to go in on it. Maybe it was in May or June, and I was like, hell yeah. What you had to do was, it was $600 for a 4-pack, and I don't think he wanted 4. He doesn't drink that much, and so he was like, hey, would you be interested in taking one for $150? I was like, hell yeah, absolutely. I mean, if for nothing else, just a great prop on the show. I'm not going to open it. If they get to another Final 4, I might. Interestingly, I'm in a little bourbon group on the Facebook for folks here around Montgomery, and somebody posted a picture of a bottle of that. They were looking for one, and I just kind of instinctively was like, hey, I have one of those. I mean, I wasn't aiming to sell it. I was just babbling, and they were like, well, why'd you say that? Do you want to sell it? I was like, no, not really. My bad. Got to be careful with some of that stuff. Ruxpin in the house. I hope that's the Ruxpin. I would love to have Ruxpin on the horn. We got B-Matt. He says he's ready. I hope he gets, hey, guys. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Oh, B-Matt. All right, let me get this up here. Get the Skype going. I hope that's the real Ruxpin. We miss you, Ruxpin. For those of you who weren't, we got some calls coming in. Wow. Oh, somebody was asking if I was going live in the second half. I don't think I would have been able to do that today because I was doing the game thread tonight. I don't know. I wish you could hear these voice messages. I think if I play them, it comes through my speaker on my computer and not the system. I think you guys would enjoy that. Let's get Mr. B-Man on the horn. Mr. B-Man. Mr. B-Man. Mr. B-Man.
Hey, what's up?
What up, B-Man?
How you doing?
Well, I like watching Auburn beat Kentucky. That was fun.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it?
I didn't appreciate you
I'm
posting
over
that
here
picture
at
of
Auburn Arena right now, just hanging out, writing up a little sidebar story, and they're watching them dismantle the floor here. I guess you're getting ready from gymnastics, maybe. I'm not sure what they're doing, or just update some things.
Hey, big shout out there. We got a super chat coming in from Ruxpin. Appreciate you, Ruxpin. Okay, so you're still writing? Yes.
Hello.
Are you still writing?
Yes. Yeah. I am.
I didn't mean to interrupt your writing.
Oh, that's cool. I just finished transcribing something, so I'm about to go into the next phase and play against too close, so I'm good.
The next phase. Talk about this game, man. What sticks out, man? I mean, there's so many things about it that I thought were really interesting. What sticks out to you about this win?
Well, I thought Auburn did a great job of taking away what Kentucky does best, and that's Nick Richards and Ashton Hagans. Both guys fouled out. Both had, unremarkable games. Hagans had just 5 points and I think 6 turnovers. Richards was held to, I think it was 7 points and 7 rebounds. So a lot of credit goes to Austin Wiley against Richards, and both Samir Dowdy and Isaac Cora work on Hagans. That was a key to the game, I thought. And then I just thought Auburn made a bunch of clutch shots. You look at Samir Dowdy's 3 at the end of the first half, at the start of the second half, and then gave Auburn the lead for good down there with I think it was about 3 or 4 minutes left. He had a big 3 there. And then you look at Samir Dowdy driving over and over again, getting contact, making 14 of 15 free throws, some big plays down the stretch. And then, I mentioned Austin Wiley having a terrific game, a double-double. I think he was 12 and 10. Yeah. And then Isaac Coro down the stretch, he scored 11. It was 14 points in the second half. He had that little mismatch there late and just kept driving and converting or making free throws. Just that big step back 3 he had 2 there was really, really big.
Huge.
Gave Auburn, I think, maybe a 6 or 7 point lead with about 3 minutes left, which is really important.
Do you find it interesting that, it seems like when it comes down to clutch time, they're starting to go to Isaac? They want to put the ball in Isaac's hands, I should say. Are you surprised by that?
Not anymore. Maybe early on I was. No, I think that's pretty much common now. I mean, I think they do a great job of determining who has the best matchup, and a lot of times that is Isaac, and they completely trust him because he's so good at driving and finishing, or even finding a guy for an assist. He had a beautiful assist. I can't believe it. I can't remember exactly who it was. It may have been McLemore, or maybe it's Purefoy, but got Auburn a layup there. Maybe about 7 or 8 minutes left in the second half, but he was just terrific. Nobody can really stop him when he puts the ball on the floor and drives.
Yeah, I think we're just kind of watching him come of age, B-Matt. I mean, we've known he's a really good player, and he's been good all along, but I think now he's kind of becoming like their go-to guy. I mean, Samir does a lot of work too, but it seems like Isaac is really coming around.
He is, and he didn't have a great day shooting, but he did make 2 of 4 3-pointers, only 6 of 12 from the line, but, he helped foul out a couple of guys too. Kentucky ended up with 29 fouls. There were 49 in the game. I think I saw on Twitter that was the most by an SEC game all season. So, not a lot of credit to the refs. I thought they called it way too tight for a game of this magnitude, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought, I don't get on the refs too much, B-Matt, but I did think there were a lot of kind of questionable fouls on Auburn in the first half where I didn't think there was a lot of contact there, and then Kentucky was getting away with a lot of contact. I don't know, maybe it's just kind of a thing.
Yeah, but then again, Kentucky had 29 fouls and Auburn had 20. So Auburn came out on top of that. Of course, Kentucky had, 2 players that fouled out? Yeah, and another 3 players with 4 fouls. So it certainly hurt them more overall.
And I have this theory, B-Matt, that Ashton Hagans doesn't like playing against BP. I mean, he's played them 4 times now, and he's had 3 bad ones. 3 bad performances. Yeah. Tonight was bad, too.
BP really built that defense around him. They attacked them on that ball screen up top. I mean, I thought Anthony and Austin did a great job with that. I know Austin picked up some fouls there, but that's the way it happened. Another thing I should point out is Auburn out-rebounded the bigger Kentucky team 42-28.
Unbelievable.
Now, that is impressive. That is very, very impressive.
Tons of offensive rebounds,
definitely
dude.
one of the keys.
So many offensive rebounds.
Yeah, 17-6. Auburn won that big time.
Yeah, and I would never have expected that to happen. Kentucky's not as big as they've been before, but Richards is a real problem, and EJ can be a really elusive, good rebounder too. So I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, Richards is a pro. He's going to be drafted somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So as far as this team goes, B-Matt, you got at Arkansas coming up. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? And then you got LSU at home. It's like the challenges don't ease up here.
Well, I mean, people might not realize it, but that's Auburn's 4th straight win. But they're on a little bit of a roll right now. And, they've got to still solve the bad starts on the road thing. They had a really bad start at Ole Miss, but they managed to come back and win it in double overtime. But that'll be key because Arkansas, Samir and Javon, I think they only had 2 turnovers between them. But that's not how Kentucky plays. But Arkansas does play that way. And those guys have really got to control themselves and try not to turn it over a lot and try to get off to a decent start at Arkansas, because if they don't, Arkansas could run them out of the gym.
Yeah, Arkansas, if they're hot, man, they're really tough. But the other night against South Carolina, They got themselves in a hole and just couldn't quite get out of it. So we'll see.
Yep, but if you look at the next 2 games at Arkansas, LSU at home, and then at Alabama at home, so you've got a chance you win the next 2, you're right there in the hunt for the SEC regular season championship. And then you've got a chance the next game to get a little revenge off what Alabama did to Auburn on the road, a month ago. So a really big stretch coming up for Auburn.
What was BP's reaction after this one, man? I'm sure he was pretty fired up. Did he have anything specific to say?
He was. Nothing really stood out to me other than he quickly said, "We're on to Arkansas." So I think they're in that mode right now where they're winning. The one thing I guess most interesting was. He was asked, he said earlier that this team is just a good team and not very good. And he was asked, well, after this one, are y'all a very good team now? He said, we are, but we still got to step up with these games against Arkansas and LSU coming up. So I think he's pleased with the improvement this team has made over the course of the last couple of weeks after that stretch they lost, 2 straight on the road to Alabama and Florida. But I still think he's a little wary and knows they got some really tough tests coming up.
And got to see that on the road, man. I mean, you've seen some collapses on the road. The Alabama mess, the Florida mess.
Yep.
Arkansas is probably not quite that same caliber, B-Matt, but I'm sure he wants to see them respond on the road. I mean, that's a big deal.
It is. And, LSU is 8-0 right now. I mean, I'm sure they're going to lose some. But they still have to play Auburn here. They host Kentucky, I think, one time. And I'm sure they're going to have some tougher road games. But, Auburn can't afford to lose too many more games, especially on the road, if they're going to have a chance of catching LSU. Obviously, that head-to-head will be important for Auburn winning at home. But they've got to pull out some big road wins if they want to win that championship.
Yeah, for sure. It's more about, you got to win at home, but if you're going to win a championship, you got to win on the road too.
Yep.
B-Matt, you don't sound like you're out of breath, so that's good. That's a step forward.
Heck yeah, man.
All right, appreciate you, bro. You be good out there.
All right, see ya.
See you, man. Mr. B-Matt, our H-Team reporter, and a man who everyone knows is a doer of many things. I do got to give a huge shout-out here. Ruxpin has come through in a big way, in a big way. 5 super chats for a grand total of $100. 3 for 20, 1 for 1980, and 1 for 2020, just to make it an even hundo. He says one's for Nate King, one is a love you JG, one is a this is for Okoro, and this one says this is to make it an even hundo and for this year in JG Vision. Ruxpin, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much for your support. You're always there, even in football season, starting things off for us. Interestingly, you seem like you like to revel. You're a reveler. Also got one coming through from Hornatius. Another one. Hornatius is always here, even when he's not here. He's here. He says this concerns me a little bit, Hornatius. You say you would lick the nanner pudding off of BMAT. That's nice of you. It's very nice of you. Also got one from Cleve C. He says, when I learn how to increase my super chat, will be good. Okay. Thank you for your support, Cleve. Appreciate you, bro. Jeff C., he may be gone already, but he said, got to exit early tonight. Love you guys, War Eagle. So good stuff. Jeff's really one of the really nice guys we've got here on the show. and a really good Auburn fan, and just a good dude. Huntsville Tiger says, boom, from New Mexico. My man's always somewhere else. Moves around all the time. And glad to have you on the show, Huntsville Tiger. I think you were giving me hell in the bunker the other day, too. I didn't know what that was all about. I know I've talked to you before, and you say you never take anything seriously on the website, so I let it go. But I don't know why you'd be giving me hell. Chip says, which one of JTT's pets makes the first appearance? When BMAC called in like 30 seconds into that interview, my cat went right through my chair.
Kitty cat. Kitty.
He was up here a minute ago. And my, oh my goodness, we got another. He actually came. Come here, bud. My kitty is in the house. Chip. Oh, you're okay. Don't say. What's up, Sammy? What'd you think about that victory, huh? You like that one? Yeah. Because I don't like the UK Cats. I like the Auburn Tigers. Because they're kind of cats too, right? Yeah. All right, bro. Be good. He's off. We got another super chat coming in from, I got cat hair on my face. From Blake Turner. Says, appreciate what you do, my friend, from Burner 51. Sipping Elijah Craig's small batch. I don't know if this matters, but they have, I was at Costco yesterday getting some stuff for my wifey, and they've got Elijah Craig small batch in a really big bottle. I don't know if it's like a half gallon or what it is. I don't know if it's a great value because I'm not super into Elijah Craig. I like it. I just haven't had a lot of it, so I wouldn't know a great price if I saw it. But if you like drinking a lot of Elijah Craig, I feel like Costco would be a good place to go for that stuff. Corey C. says, any way to change your chat name? There is. I'm not 100% sure how to do that because I had to change mine. It can be done. I'll send you something. I'll figure it out and I'll send you something, Corey. Appreciate you as always. Huntsville Tiger says negative. I wasn't coming after you. Okay. May have just been I was just caught in the middle or something. Wait, hold on. Somebody up here says Ruxpin is in for 6 bottles of Old Granddad. I wonder what Ruxpin drinks. Whatever it was working in during the football season because we'd always lead off with Ruxpin and he'd always be lit. It was a lot of fun talking to Ruxpin. Chip says, cats don't have voices, only pugs. My pug he doesn't bark too much, but he'll grumble a little bit now and then. Blake T says, appreciate what you do, and I appreciate you, Blake. Thank you very much. Oh, my goodness. We got another big one coming through. My man, Web W. Last name redacted, although all of y'all can see it. It's Web Waters. Says, Samir finally won me over tonight. Finally. What's up, Webb? I've known him for a minute. We have mutual friends. He knows our friend Becky, administrative assistant, from the days when Becky used to be around these parts. Damon K says, I second. I guess this is a reference for you, Corey. I think he's saying that you got to change your Google account name, which I'm sure you can do. It's not a big deal. So the one that I use, I have two. I have the one I actually use for my email, and then I have one I use for YouTube, and I had to change it that way. You can do that. It's not a big deal. Chip says, Costco had some $1,000 brandy in a dragon bottle that JGT can afford now with all that super chat scratch. My wife and I saw that. They had one of those in ours, too. It really was like some exorbitant amount of money for a dragon, whatever, just a decanter. I don't know. I wasn't interested in that. And you're right. It was way overpriced. That was insane. Anyway, Webb, thank you very much. I appreciate you jumping in there. And I'm glad that you have come around on Samir. I feel a little bit vindicated because you guys know I was saying last year that Samir was going to come through, and he never really did. Because when he was at VCU, he was a really good slasher. He was like Chris Denson for them. Get to the hole. He would finish a lot. He would get to the free throw line. He was that guy. And then last year, he was like a spot-up shooter. And this year, he's probably more of a driver. He'd probably prefer to be a spot-up shooter. But, last year was just like the 4th or 5th guy. This year is like the 1st or 2nd guy, and he's been good. he gets a little up and down, but when he's hot, and I thought he was really good in the first half tonight, boy, he's a big benefit, isn't he? Let's see. OWT Cider says, hopefully Samir's out of that rut. Yeah, I think everybody's hoping that. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Willboy AU says Auburn played hard body tonight going after those boards. Absolutely. That was definitely something you could tell. They were fired up about that. They had to get rebounds. They had to get second chance points. And they had to limit Kentucky's second chance points by defensive rebounding well. I thought their defensive rebounding was solid, not great, but not terrible. Offensive rebounding was elite, probably the best offensive rebounding performance of the season. And that was a big difference in this game. Gave him a lot of second chance points, and that was a big difference in this game. Canoe Man says, oh, this is a lamp. Almost forgot had Pappy today. Oh, I just slipped your mind that you might have had some Pappy, huh? Look at this. OWT Cider's just showing Corey how to do it right there. So check that out and see if that works for you, Corey. Let's see. What else we got going on? I think people are still just trying to help out there. I'm glad you guys are being helpful in the chat. Corey's one of the superstars around here. That was tasty. Call me Biscuit says he's hammered. Webb says Samir took the free throw seriously. Yeah, he did. They shot well at the free throw line tonight, really. Might have been below their last game. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, 33 to 44. It's good. I mean, BP will take that all day long. It's back when, Javon's picked it up. Al's still bad, but it doesn't really matter. He doesn't get to the line a lot. But Samir going 14 to 15. You're right, man. That's huge, Webb. It's a big thing right there. Isaac 6 to 12. Not great. Remember when Javon was like a 40% free throw shooter? It was crazy. Huntsville Tiger says by Pappy, he likely just means an elderly man. AU Boss is in the house. He says, nice nerds in here. Glad to have you, AU Boss. AU Boss, one of our jovial posters in the bunker. Always funny. For those of you who are like bunker fiends, we had to do some dirty stuff to T-Town Tiger the other day. He decided to post some anatomically correct GIFs, and we got those down pretty quickly. They were up longer than I would have liked, but they were so egregious that I had to not only like ban him, but I had to like wipe him clean. You can't even at him anymore. It's as if he never existed, really. And so we'll yeah, you know what? I'm going to pour one for him. I mean, I like T-Town Tiger. We've had kind of a tempestuous relationship through the years. I think in the beginning he had a hard time with me, because I was trying to bring some order to the board. And then I think he got it, and he was cool. And he was edgy, and he gave it hell, and he spoke his mind, but he wasn't acting like a jerk. But the other day he went a little bit too far. So anyway, T-Town, I hated to do it to you, brother, but you can't put DVDA on the bunker. Yeah, that's a rule. That's a hard and steady rule right there. Sausage Broker, I can't even believe this is true. He says the UK fans crying on Twitter about officiating is so delicious, such irony. Are they really doing that? I thought Kentucky got so many calls tonight. Particularly in the first half, it was ridiculous at times. I think overall it was somewhat even. I probably would think Kentucky was the benefactor, but not ridiculously so. Jenkins M says, JG, if we go 13-5 and the SEC are better, how is BP not coach of the year? That would surprise me if he wasn't. 13-5 would be tough to do that now, though. I mean, you've already got 2 losses, and you still got to go to Kentucky, and there's a lot of challenges ahead, so let's just see. Cleve C. Oh, my goodness. Cleve C comes through again. Oh, my God. Hey, you boss, back-to-back? Cleve says, JGT, appreciate being part of the brain drain, and thanks for keeping it real always. Thanks to Biscuit for getting the super chat figured out tonight also. You were right, man. You said if you get it figured out, you get it right. That's a big one. Thank you, Cleve. I appreciate you for that. Also, AU Boss is Ho. Well, I think it's just AU Boss. Says pour one out for T-Town. I did, but you know what? In your honor, I'll do it again. Both for you and Cleve. Appreciate you guys. I've been trying to figure out like something to do for folks that super chat. You know, if we have like some kind of a alarm bell that goes off. Hickadula is back for a second straight show. Thank you for the super chat, Hickadula. I know you were up in the Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg last week, drinking something that was gnarly. So he's backing up like a sipping on old smoky moonshine. Did we win? Yes, Auburn won. And I'm sorry you're drinking that ass moonshine. But I know, when in Rome, when you go to Pigeon Forge, you got to go to that moonshine. What is that place called? Is it like the Moonshine Company or something? It's called Old Smoky Moonshine. Okay. It's in that little shopping mall? Yeah, by the Margaritaville, right? What does it say about me that I know my way around Pigeon Forge is not good, right? There's two things I know about Pigeon Forge. There's a lot of bathrooms, and there's a lot of places to eat. There's also a video game store over by that, what is that place where we eat the chicken wings administrative assistant that was so good? It's called like Blue Oyster or something. Anyway, there's a video game store like 2 doors down from that place, and they had like Sega Genesis games and Super Nintendo games, and like you could buy a Genesis. I was like, this is my shit right here. Like I can play the video games I used to love playing. I used to love playing NHL games in the 90s on Sega Genesis. Got another one coming at Stoop Up, of course. Stoop Up, my man. Thank you, Stoop Up, for the super chat. I'm going to look this up and see like how many consecutive shows Stoop Up and Hornatius have come through going all the way back to football season, because you guys always come through. Thank you, Stoop Up. He says, UK fans are oversensitive snowflakes. Hey, that's somebody else saying that, not me, UK friends. Tonight was fun. Love it when AU beats UK. Thanks for what you do, JGT. No, thank you for being part of the show, Stoop Up. And I know you've been around a long time, bro. Thank you. And Hickadula, man, I'm glad you're back. I was worried about you drinking that shady ass moonshine from Pigeon Forge. I could not bring myself to drink it. But Jeffrey Lee he comes into contact with some moonshine every now and then and offers me some. The administrative assistant is not surprised to hear that, right? The kind that he and I enjoyed last time was grape. It was grape moonshine. My administrative assistant hates grape, and she hates moonshine. So that would be a perfect solution for you. Call Me Biscuit asks kind of a gauche question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. He says, what's the total on Super Chat, JGT? I will pull that up right now. Oh, my God. I will say that we have broken a record tonight. That's what I'm going to say. We are above our largest night ever, largest show ever. And Love the Cats, I completely agree with what you say. He says NHLPA is one of the greatest video games ever. Is that the first one? Is that the 93 version? Yeah, I think in that first one, the 93 one, they were doing too much fighting. There was too much emphasis on like the fist fights, which I thought was kind of dumb. And then I think in 94, 95, they de-accentuated that, and it got better. Those games are really, really good. These kids today won't even know what it's like. AU Taxman says, does Jay Lee's moonshine come in a mason jar? Of course it does. It's the only way moonshine is to be drunk, I believe. So, yeah, it did that. I don't want to say where he got it or whatever. Damon K says, Jay Lee needs to get on the horn and update the Broderick Jones debacle. I don't know if it's a debacle yet. Yeah, as far as Mr. Jones, so he was supposed to take the official visit. I mentioned to you guys on the show Tuesday that the big challenge is going to be to get him on campus, right? He had said he was going to go, and then we were all skeptical. Well, it turns out he did not take an official visit as planned. However, Jay Lee was very careful with the way he worded that, and he said he was not taking an official visit this weekend. It's left open to interpretation as to whether he's here or not. And my guess is that with Jay Lee not really addressing it straight up, sometimes there's things that go on that you just can't reasonably report on. The first one that comes to mind is Romello Height. He was a Miami commit who came here for a visit. He didn't want anybody to know, and he had told the coaching staff, like, I'll come, but you have to make sure people don't know about this because I'm not going to tell them. And if it gets out, I know where it came from because you're the only one that knows. And then that's how it kind of went down. And if Jeffrey Lee sees him in the complex or whatever, you don't spoil it for him. I don't know. You guys might be mad about that. It's kind of a blurry line there. So I don't know for sure if Broderick Jones is at Auburn or not. We know he's not on an official, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not there. We got some super chats coming in again. Brando AU Tigers, also known as UR Tiger Bait. I know that name. This is awesome show, entertaining, celebrating with a Knob Creek old fashioned. That sounds delicious. My administrative assistant and I enjoyed an old fashioned recently. Where was that? At the Tipping Point, our local watering hole here in Hampstead neighborhood of Montgomery, Alabama, where we are located. Great folks up there at the Tipping Point. My man Nick S., I can find him up there a lot of nights. Justin is the guy who runs it. My man Nick at the bar. Is it Autumn Amber? Autumn also works the bar up there. Amber's the assistant manager or whatever. Pinch hitter manager. Well, I mean, she's there on Saturdays usually. Anyway, we know all the folks there. Laura, Maggie, the other Nick, the trivia dude. I forget his name. Anyway, big super chats coming in. You are Tiger Bait. Appreciate you, bro. He says, awesome show, entertaining, celebrating with a Knob Creek old fashioned, as I mentioned. Love the grit and fight in this team. Different kind of win. ESPN cries along with the UK fans. Constant secons? I'm missing what you're saying there. I think you're talking about just Jay Billis like being very complimentary of the UK Wildcats. Listen, man. Now I guess we need to address this, and I did on Twitter before the game. But I am a graduate of University of Kentucky. I got a second degree there that my administrative assistant helped me get to. Is that fair? It is fair. And so a lot of people like to rag on me and say, JG, it's a really hard game for you, man. I don't care anymore about UK. I mean, I went there and I'm happy I went there, but I went there because I was there. I mean, I was already in Lexington. So I don't have a particular love for them. And my wife and I, we don't watch UK play unless they're playing Auburn. There's just not a lot of caring. And plus, she's a Louisville fan anyway. I mean, really. I noticed it took you a minute before you even got in on and then told me no on that. So I know I'm onto something here. My wife grew up in Louisville, and she pulled for U of L until at some point in the future. And then why are you giving me the finger? At some point in the future, you just said you were a UK fan, but I'm still skeptical. Anyway, I don't care. I would rather see Auburn beat Kentucky. It's good for the site. It's good for you guys. I know you guys. I've been here for 20-something years now. I like to see you guys happy. And I like to see BP win because I know how hard these kids work and how he was selling a dream. And Billis was saying on the videos that young Nate put up yesterday, if you want to go through those on our YouTube channel, there's a video from Billis on there, and he was saying great players don't go to developing teams. They go to great teams. And so now that BP is able to kind of pull in some of these great players, you know what the state of the program is. And that's true. And I know in the beginning it was hard. He got Horace. Horace was the first big signee. And Horace was a good player. He had some big holes, right? Offensively, he wasn't there. And you have to take players like that. Then it was Stoff. Now, I don't know as though Stoff really had any holes in his game, but he was the first pretty complete player. And then after that, you start getting, because Jared at the time when he signed was not a big recruit. Bryce was definitely not a big recruit. Chuma was. And gradually you get to a Final Four, then you can start selling success and all that. And so I'm just happy to see BP, and I know he and Chad and all the guys just going back. I mean, Wes has been here a while, Burgo's been here a while, just them working, and I'm just glad to see them doing well. Ruxpin comes through again. Unbelievable, Ruxpin. I just don't even know what to say about you now. I feel bad pigeonholing you is to our drunk leadoff guy. You know you're more than that. And I thank you for jumping up. He had a big day today. Thank you very much. He says the ceiling is the roof, AU 75, UK 66. Thanks, Ruxpin. That is 6 super chats for you now. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Also got another one coming through. Golly, you guys are incredible. Fat Crack comes through again. Says, where are we at with super chat flow? I will address that here in a minute. Nacho Hombre. I forget what your real handle was on the bunker. I'm sorry. Says, I just wanted to take a minute and throw Chad Pruitt a little praise. Chad Pruitt's a badass. Oh, my gosh. My chair just fell down. Oh, no. Is it jammed? There we go. Chad Pruitt, the assistant coach at Auburn, whose daughter Madison is on The Bachelor. And I was telling my mom about it the other day, and she was just like, I don't know. I don't like the guy. My mom watches The Bachelor religiously, and I was really fired up to be like, hey, I've met Madison, and I kind of know her sort of. And she was like, the guy's a dick. I was like, okay. It has nothing to do with Madison, but that's cool. Chad is one of the great movers and shakers behind the scenes at Auburn. Obviously, he does a great job, and he's great with strategy. He can be a good recruiter when they give him a chance to, because he's not actually one of their accounting assistants, but he's always been there, man. He's a big part of their success. So I'm glad to see people like you, Nacho, smart folks, giving Chad some love for that. Jenkins M says, JG, got a great group of seniors here that would love to take you to lunch next time you're on the plains. Bro, I'm down, totally. I'm so glad that you kind of surfed into our show, like, 6 weeks ago or whatever. You've been so great every time. Every time we fire up the show, you're always here, and I appreciate you, bro. I don't know what this means, Hornatius, but I'm going to let it go. I don't care. It's fine. We'll post that. Let's see. So Ruxpin comes through. Fat Crack comes through. Nacho Hombre comes through. And then Stoop Up again. It says, my wife is watching Vanilla Ice's home renovation show. Why would anybody do that? That is a sentence I never thought I would type. My mind is blown, and UK fans are betas. Womp, womp, womp. Now, for real, I have seen the Ice Cube, the Vanilla Ice show. I just didn't really get it. I'm not into home renovation, although Holmes on Homes, I like that dude for whatever reason. He's Canadian, and he's nice, and he looks like he'd be very intimidating. He looks like he'd be in the group Men at Work. I know that's Australian and not Canadian, but I don't know. He reminds me of the guy from Men at Work, so that's the only one I really enjoy. And then I noticed that the people that used to flip houses in Vegas, it was Christina and the dude with the weird name, administrative assistant. Do you have a name on that? The people that used to flip houses in Vegas. Or was it in California? It was Christina and they got divorced. Sharik? Tariq? Whatever. So she has her own show now. Dude, she was the worst part of that show. She was horrible. She was insufferable. He was a dick too, but she was way worse. And now she's got her own show? Like, I can't think of a show I'd rather not watch. Like, I don't care if she got remarried or not. She's a wench. All she does is whine. She doesn't get anything done. And then she gets on him for not getting enough done. Like, I don't want to see that. She has her own show now. And it reminds me of the Kate plus 8 or Kate minus 8 whenever Kate divorced her husband and then they gave her a show. Like, literally the worst thing on television. I have no idea why anybody would watch that. Oh, my gosh. We're still going through, guys. Unbelievable. Anyway, Stoop Up, thank you very much. I got so many chats here I got to catch up with. I know I'm missing a lot of stuff here. I'm going to get back to you guys. Love the Cats jumps in again. Down 2.5 ounces, nerd. Well, I can't do 2.5 ounces, but I'll definitely down one for you since you're requesting it. I mean, geez. It's the least I can do, Hornatius. I'm not even going to say if you're the greatest horn, but you're definitely one of the 3 best ones on the bunker. Oh, my goodness. Ben B comes through again. He says, War Eagle, thanks, JGT. Thank you, Ben. I know that's not your first one tonight, and I appreciate you jumping in. Burner51 says he's signing off. Thank you for all you do, Jay. God bless. Bless you, Burner51. I hope I didn't miss you. before you signed off. Thank you for watching. Ruxpin jumps in again. What is that, 7 super chats tonight, Ruxpin? He says, I am your drunk leadoff caller. $200 even now. Love you, JG. Thank you so much, bro. You are seriously like a superstar. Damon K jumps through and says, Christina and Tarek, Musa. And then they got divorced because she's insufferable. And he also is, he's not an angel, okay? He's annoying too, but she's more annoying. Willboy AU says, Ruxpin is the GOAT. Got to take some calls. I mean, I would do that. Damon K says, Musa is the correct spelling according to Google. Ben B? Yeah, I gave Ben B a shout. Yeah, Ben B said, War Eagle, thanks, JGT. That was not his first one of the day either. Ruxpin, if you want to call in, bro, I'll take that call. I mean, if you're not too lit to handle that. Call Me Biscuit says, Holmes on Holmes has got to be gay. Where did you get that? I feel like that guy is I feel like that guy gets the ladies, man. I mean, I don't know. They don't really show that on the show, but he seems like an alpha to me. He takes command of the situation and just kind of pulls him in like a yo-yo. Call Me Biscuit jumps in. Unbelievable. I've lost track of all these super chats. It's unbelievable, guys. Call Me Biscuit says, really looking forward to your first caller versus you talking to your administrative assistant. We've had our first caller. It was B-Matt. We had B-Matt on the horn earlier. I'll see if young Nate wants to jump on. Oh, I said hump on here. That was bad. Oh my goodness. This is so my man JB from DC was jumping in and being a smartass. I know you're watching this show, JB, and I don't appreciate your joking like that. Let me see if young Nate would like to hop on. We haven't had Nate on. He is technically, I should say typically, a very slow responder on text. Sorry, guys. I know this is incredible video here. I can't talk and do this at the same time. All right, there we go. AU Taxman says, JC, if you can get Doc out of the old Corona. Yes, Doc. My bad. Totally. I start talking to you guys, and I want to read the chats and interact with you guys, and then I just forget about all this stuff. Let's see if Doc's in the horn. Doc. He usually answers pretty quick. Just hadn't had him on. I like you guys. There's so much chatting going on here, and when I have folks on the horn, I feel like I'm missing stuff, and I hate doing that. Chip, who has been around for a long time, says, I don't recall you ever making this much from the campfires. There we go. We got a call coming in. Sorry, man. I just kind of knocked off the that stuff. Hey, caller, what's going on? How you doing? Uh-oh, that's not good. I don't hear anything. Do y'all hear anything? I don't hear anything. Oh, I think they... Dadgummit. I think they hung up right as I answered it. Hey, call me back, bro. Whoever that was from the 770. I'm sorry I didn't get that. I was a little bit slow on that answer. You know, it'd be really funny would be to call him back. It would be like, who's this number? Hey. Canoe Man says calls suck. Some people think that that's the case. Oh, we got another call coming in. 678. Let's see what's up. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I know who that is. What up, bro?
How you doing, JG?
I'm good, Ruxpin. How have you been tonight? You been drinking?
Hell yeah, I've been drinking a little bit Tito's. How about you?
Ooh, well, I'm drinking the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, but Tito's sounds good too. You just drink it straight?
Yeah. I mixed a little bit of water with it, with a little bit of that squirty lime they give you at the liquor store.
Hell yeah. I like the liquor store. Those people always take good care of you. Ruxpin, you've had a big night.
Yeah, nice.
You've had a momentous night on the Super Chats, and I would like to personally say thank you very much for that.
Well, JG, I love everything you do. You know that. So.
And I thank you for being part of the site, too. You jump in on the bunker, too, quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm that annoying drunk guy who jumps in.
Hey,
But I got to tell him
yeah.
what I'm feeling.
So what are you feeling tonight, man?
Oh man, that was hell of a game. It's a great day for Auburn, honestly. Like with having game day and winning against Kentucky, especially our first ranked opponent we played all year, man. I'm sorry, I'm freaking pumped, man. I'm pumped.
We joking there, bro?
Yeah. I've been fighting a cold for a while, but
I have to.
I was also like that, and I was watching Harry Potter battle like Peter Pettigrew and Voldemort and all of them earlier today. So
Damn.
it was a good day.
Hell yeah, absolutely. What are your expectations for this team,
Hell
man?
yeah.
What do you think they can do in the tournament? I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
I want to see how we do against Arkansas and then LSU this week. I think it's our biggest 3-game stretch of the regular season. So I'm excited about the win, but, cautiously optimistic about the future.
Who's your favorite player?
Oh, it's got to be Okoro. I mean,
Yeah,
love that guy. But also, McLemore has been stepping it up lately, and I know I apologize about Sean Shiver, and I feel like I was wrong about Samir Dowdy too. He had a hell of a game today, and I've been kind of talking trash about him lately. So, he proved me wrong. I might as well just talk trash about everybody, so they proved me wrong in these games.
Yeah. They balled out today, man. They played their ass off from start to finish, honestly. So that was big. And I know you love BP, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my God. I love that man. Oh, and he brought us college game day basketball, and I know a lot of people were complaining about how lame it was or whatever, but, we got it. You know what I mean? Like, he brought it here. That just shows you where Auburn basketball is now, where I tell all my Georgia and Bama friends that we're a basketball powerhouse just to piss them off, and we kind of are a basketball school now.
No, that's for real, dude. I mean, as BP likes to tweet, they're an everything school, though.
I like that he does that, and you know what? That's just BP being humble because he's made us the everything school by himself, basically. I mean, obviously other factors surrounding it, but I mean, JG, I'm just excited now because like it used to be back in the day, it was like basketball season. We were just waiting for spring football, but now it's like we have basketball season, then we have the SEC tournament, and then we have the NCAA tournament. Like it's exciting, man. It's extending the fanhood. Like it's I love it. I just love it. And but JG, I love you. I love Jay Lee. I love B Matt and Nate King. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, Ruxpin. See you, bro. He gone. Ruxpin the man. He is an absolute legend, is he not? You know what's funny is when he actually gets a point and he wants to say something, he sharpens up real quick. Have you noticed that? Yeah. He's pretty sharp when he's talking about Samir and shit. You know what I mean? And I like that he said that the basketball team helps them extend the fanhood into a larger portion of the year. I mean, I know exactly what he's talking about, and y'all do too. And it's great, and it's huge. That's a perfect way to put it. Extending the fanhood. Call Me Biscuits is hang up, Ruxpin. Billis. I always call him Billis. That's what Cliff used to always be like. Back in the day, we used to do teleconferences. I haven't done a teleconference in 5 years, but used to have them, and Cliff would be like, Billis, is that you? You've been riding my ass ever since I was at Clemson. I was like, Love the Cats, quoting some Cypress Hill. He sings, pick it, pack it, fire it up, come along, and take a hit from the bong. Put the blunt down just for a second. Yes, sir. Inhale, exhale. Just got an ounce in the mail. We love Cypress Hill. We used to listen to Cypress Hill a lot on the Pi Kappa Alpha parties. I don't know if my wife remembers that it was actually Cypress Hill, but you like Insane in the Membrane, don't you? Of course you do. Of course you do. Everybody loves that song. Call Me Biscuits says any sunny moments tonight. Yes, there there were two. I tweeted about one of them and I forgot what it was, but the other one was when he made some reference to like a 1950s actor or something, and Andy goes, "I'm sorry, Coach, what?" and Sonny goes, "You hadn't heard of this guy?" And Andy goes, "Nope." And Sonny goes, "Oh, he was a great actor in the 50s." And Andy's like, "Thanks, Coach." I was like, "What?" And no, I know what it was. I tweeted about it, but he said something like, "You don't ever want to work with an honest man," and I'm not an honest man. I was like, I don't know where we're going with this, but anyway, young Nate got back with me and said he is available, so we're going to add young Nate. We have not had young Nate on the horn. Dan Webb says we need Jay Lee. I'll tell you what, yeah, let me check on Jay Lee and see what's up with him, because we could talk about Broderick Jones. That's great. Great idea. Great idea. Dan Webb, you're the man. I didn't think about it because Jay Lee, I don't know if he's watching basketball or not. I mean, he does sometimes and he doesn't sometimes. I mean, he's out chasing recruits sometimes. It just depends on the weekend. 5 or 6 years ago when they had 15 kids on campus for a weekend in January, it was a different deal, but now they have like 2. Chip says, I sat through both Cypress Hill albums waiting for Foo Fighters to go on stage at a bar in New Orleans around 1995. Damn. That's like right when Foo Fighters started, right? Canoe Man says, one of the many reasons Sonny is the GOAT. Coach Sonny is great, man. I love listening to him. He has really funny stories sometimes, and other times he just kind of goes off the edge of the earth, and you don't know what the hell he's talking about. And Andy doesn't either. And he just kind of goes, "Thanks, Coach." That's kind of how he is in real life, though. I mean, the Sonny that you hear on the radio is like, that's pretty much how he is. OWT Cider says 1930s. Even further back than I thought. AU Taxman asks if there's been any Roan Mountain references with Sonny tonight. I didn't hear any of those. He's usually good for a few. I don't remember hearing any today. Forrest B says Jalen Green to AU. That would be huge. Jalen Green thinking mighty seriously about going to Auburn. And if you judge from his Instagram and his Twitter tonight, he was pretty fired up about the fact that everybody was cheering for him. But I never know what those kids are thinking on social media. Chip notes that was indeed the Foo Fighters' first tour. With such great songs as Big Me and I'll Stick Around. And I can't remember. There's another one that's on there that's really good. I forget. I know the record cover art is like a pistol, like a little, almost like a space pistol. Something like that. Willboy AU says the Jalen chant was the best thing the students have done all year. Love the Cat says, obligatory Jimpty super chat. I'll pay you next week. All right. So Doc got back with me. And so we're going to hit up Doc and see what's going on. I know you guys are fired up about that. You guys love it when Doc calls. Dang, I missed calls, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know people were calling. I need to do a better job of listening for calls. Let's see. Dadgummit. Thought he would have been in here. Mm-hmm. Meow, 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 meow. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Hello?
Who the hell we got on the horn right now?
Hey, buddy, sugar sticks and dog dicks. It's Dog Nuts. What's going on, buddy?
What up, Doc? How you been?
Man, I tell you what, Tate, great to talk to you, brother. I haven't, I've missed, for some reason, I've been doing the other crap, the previous couple of brain drains, but great to be on. Everything going pretty smooth?
Hell yeah, we missed calling you. I have not done as good a job as I should have getting up with you. But I mean, when we're doing
no. I wasn't even around. I was working. So I'm just glad that. Please tell me this: did Ruxy Poo get on tonight? I've not heard the show. Did Ruxy Poo get on?
Ruxy Poo has had a Hall of Fame night tonight. He has contributed like $200 in super chats, and he called in.
Did he call? Was he halfway coherent when he called in?
Situationally, when he called in initially, he was not. But then when we started talking about strategy, he like sobered up. So I don't know what's up with him.
Hey, what a great win tonight! I mean,
absolutely.
Gosh, I mean, what a freaking great win! I mean, I loved it. I missed half the game because I had to coach a baseball game, but I'm at my buddy's house and I'm watching now the last 10 seconds. Looks like we had a great second half.
Yeah, absolutely, man. UK just kept fighting, and every time Auburn would make a big bucket, UK would answer it. But then when it came to be nut cutting time, Auburn just stepped up and played their ass off. I mean, they fought hard the whole day, Doc, but when it was time to really thrive,
I'll tell you what is really good about this basketball team is they're so physical. I keep hearing a bunch of stuff about referees and stuff. What I saw, I thought the referees are fine. They just let them play. Auburn's just a very physical basketball team, and when you step in Auburn Arena, you got to be physical, and that's a big plus for us. I mean, it's a big plus for Bruce, big plus for our team that we can handle that physical play. Absolutely,
man. And they haven't always done that, Doc. Sometimes these physical teams mess up Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, I love Scotty Pullman, but if you accidentally, if you laid a molecule of your DNA on him, he'd end up in the 10th row. So it's just very fun to watch. Our guards got to get better, but huge tribute to Samir tonight. I'm not the biggest Samir fan, but when I saw the first half, I thought he was the best player on the court.
He was outstanding in the first half. He was not quite as good in the second half, but he was still pretty good. It was Isaac's game there late, man. He was, and I know you've been on Okoro's jock this whole time too.
I freaking love Okoro. But again, we talk about toughness of the team. I mean, Okoro is he's the toughest son of a gun that's out. He's tougher than anybody that we play against, okay? And he's tougher than anybody on our team. He goes to the hole. I think you said it. When somebody plays zone, put him on the nail, or somebody would call it the foul line, and just put him on the nail and let him do his thing. That's the way to go.
Yeah, they seem really slow again tonight, Doc, kind of figuring out when it was zone and when it was man. I wish they were a little quicker on the uptake on that one.
Yeah, but, let's credit Kentucky. I mean, Calipari is I've been to Calipari's basketball camp a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago. Calipari's a great basketball coach. He knows what he's doing. So sometimes his zone looks like a man, but it was just I thought we'd go 1-1 this week. I had us losing to Ole Miss and beating Kentucky. We went 2-0. That's huge. Now don't we go to Arkansas next?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be tough. I don't have us winning that game. I think just playing in the SEC, the road games are just a bitch.
Yeah. Do you think Arkansas is winnable, losable?
I do. No. I think it's winnable, losable. I don't like our chances. They're a good SEC. I think there's 8 or 9 teams that can win the SEC. I think they're one of them. So going to there, they're going to be pumped up. We're coming off. We just beat Kentucky. We're going to be a highly ranked team. I mean, they're going to give us everything they've got. Now, if somebody shoots, we got to have D'Angelo hit a couple nice shots tonight.
He did.
But we got to have a shooter shoot. And that if Bruce gets a shooter, that this team goes a long way. But of course you know that. You know basketball more than I know.
Yeah, and off the bench, I mean, Jamal's been kind of like their de facto sharpshooter off the bench. He's given them a lot. He's a 50% three-point shooter, but so tonight. They need more than that.
I thought Jamal had a couple of big plays tonight in the rebound department. He went to the foul line and hit a couple of shots. I'm kind of biased against Jamal because Jamal, just in the spirit of full disclosure, he coached my nephew in summer ball. So I've known Jamal for 2.5 years.
Really? Wow.
Love Jamal. Great guy. He coached my nephew and my nephew's mom and Jamal. They talk. They love each other. But Jamal had a couple of big rebounds tonight where he got some fouls against Kentucky. So I thought he was, he's not a defensive player. I was listening to radio because I was coaching a baseball game. Sonny Smith was saying we've got to find somebody that Jamal can guard. And and he'd be right. That's what you got to do. If Jamal can play, if he can defend somebody out there on the court.
Yeah, not a great defender.
If somebody's slower than he is, that's fine. But Jamal's a pretty good player.
He is. He's a pretty good player. Defensively, he's got to get a little bit better, but shooting-wise, he's there for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny, we talk about Jamal. We say defensively he's got to get better, but we could name a ton of guys on our team who need to get better offensively.
Yeah.
So it's just a catch-22. Bruce has got a roster with not really any shooters, but they play their ass off, and it was just anytime you beat Kentucky, obviously it's big. I don't know how good this Kentucky team is, but obviously they're pretty good, and it was a great win.
Absolutely. I mean, it's Kentucky. At the end of the day, it's still Kentucky, and they still have those players. I mean, they're good.
Bam. Bingo. Bingo City, baby. At the end of the day, it's Lexington. Aren't you from around there? Aren't you a Kentucky guy?
I was born in Louisville, yes, sir.
Are you a Louisville guy or a Kentucky guy?
Definitely more on the Kentucky side. I don't like Louisville very much.
Okay, got it. Anything else going on? I mean, football-wise, are we okay? Everything else going okay?
I'd rather not get into football right now. That's a whole different conversation, bro.
Wait a minute. Do we have bad news in football? I thought we had.
The Bunker's not happy with Gus, and I understand it. And he's still the coach, and that's that.
But let me. Can I chime in on that for a second?
Hell yeah! Come on.
I am not the biggest Gus fan, okay? I think the offense is deplorable. But Gus Malzahn just came off of winning 9 games in one of the toughest schedules that Auburn's ever played in the history of Auburn, okay? So the Bunker, I understand that they get pissed at stuff. Believe me, I watch the LSU film, and it freaking kills me that we can't get a first down. But let's give Gus a little bit of a break. I mean, there's a lot of coaches in America that would not have won 9 games again on that schedule. I mean, not just a lot, a ton of coaches.
All right.
Okay. So I'm saying to the Bunker, I don't think Gus is the best coach in the world, but God, I mean, give him a break. If the offense sucks next year, let's get back on him. But I mean, let's be careful here.
Yeah. I appreciate your rational and reasonable approach, my man, but I don't know if everybody agrees with you on that.
I'm not always rational. I'm just saying some of these Bunker guys, I'm sure they're upset about that left tackle out of Georgia. I don't know. It was like 80% of the Bunker thought he was coming to Auburn. He's been committed to Georgia since like summer camp of 1984. I mean, we had a 1% chance to get him. I don't know why everybody's so bent out of shape on that.
I know.
But anyway, that's my point. But anyway, like I said, and I'm not, me, I'm not a Gus maniac. I'm not saying he's the greatest guy in the world, but because his offense is absolutely embarrassing. But the football team had a pretty good year. I mean, we need to lay off him for a few weeks.
All right. Doc, you're a Hall of Famer. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer and a total badass. I want you to know that.
Well, let me tell you something, dog. You are too, brother. Thanks for having. It's great to be back on the Brain Drain, and have a great day, dog.
All right, Doc. See you, bro. There he is, Doc Dumpster, ladies and gentlemen. One of the all-time greatest. I don't know if we wanted to go into football tonight, but, hey, it is Auburn. I'm going to see if we can get young Nate on. Nate said he was available. And we have never had Nate on the show, I don't think. Young Nate. Let's see if I can get him on here. Mm-hmm. Hey, what? Oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Let's give him a horn. Wonder where that number's from. Where do you think area code 407's from? Anybody on the chat going to give me an answer on that? I need to know where area code 407 is. That's where Nate is. Nate is in Auburn, but his number's 407. I don't recognize that area code at all. OWT Cider said I would have hung up by now. Call Me Biscuit says Nate should be hammered as an Auburn student. Yeah, he's not a big drinker, Biscuit. I've tried to get him straightened out. Call Me Biscuit says that's Orlando. Okay, we may have to get Nate on this. I think I may have brought this up with him before, but who cares? We can just do it again. Not that it matters. He's not really in a position to talk a lot of shit at me, is he? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. Now, young Nate, I don't know as though young Nate has problems with wind sprints. I might have typed this number in wrong. Come on, Nate.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, who this?
Yeah. Hey, who's this? I'm sorry. Who's this?
This is Fred Johnson.
Can you speak up?
Fred Johnson from the bunker. I wanted to talk to you about an article you wrote.
Yeah, and hit me up. What's going on?
Hey, why do you have an Orlando number? Have I asked you this before?
I'm from there. Did you know that?
I thought you were from Huntsville.
I live in Huntsville currently. I was born and raised in Orlando, though. 14 years.
I did not know that.
O-Town or no town? Yep. And now everyone else knows that, too, assuming I'm live.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I didn't give away your number or anything. I just knew you're from
Yeah. No, yeah. It's 4. No, I was kidding. Yeah, this is my debut. Did you know that?
I did know that.
'Cause you've never called me before.
I know. I thought it would just be good to have you on. I mean, you've put your time in, and everybody knows who you are now. And Ruxpin was actually donating money in your name today.
Oh, my Ruxpin. Oh, my goodness. That guy. That man.
He's one of your all-time
He's
favorites.
my number one He's my number one motivator in life.
He's the wind beneath your wings. Nate, you have been up at Auburn for like 12 hours now. You were there for the game day stuff this morning. You were there for the game today. Just your thoughts on a crazy day for Auburn basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of an understatement when Bruce sat down and the first words of his press conference, he said, it was a great day in Auburn Arena. And, I mean, certainly that's an understatement because, I mean, just for them to have that here for the first time, just get the city kind of energized for a full, like you said, for like 12 hours. People were just buzzing all day long. People were tailgating on campus, which is crazy to think about for an Auburn basketball game. It was almost like a football atmosphere here. People were so excited leading up to the game. And then, I mean, at times during the game, it didn't necessarily look like the home team was going to be able to pull it out. But, man, they just played so hard down there at the end. You know, they played a really imperfect game, I thought, on offense. That it wasn't very pretty all night long, but they just kind of strung it together there at the end. And Kentucky kind of melted down, got into a lot of foul trouble. Yeah, but, I mean, just another great win for Pearl's program. I mean, that's just kind of what I just wrote about is that, you know, it's funny that just it's so short ago, you know, just a few years ago when they would rush the floor, and Auburn would have been joined on the floor by the students when they're celebrating. And now, I mean, they celebrate, they get done, and they're looking ahead to Arkansas because these wins are just standard for them now.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Kentucky. I mean, the first time it happened, 3 or 4 years ago, or first time it happened in a while, it was a really big deal. And then now it's almost kind of like, you know, it happens sometimes, you know, you beat Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their first time beating them back-to-back in 20 years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And if they beat them, obviously that's tough sledding to go to Rupp Arena, but it's going to be a really exciting game. But if they beat them 3 times in a row, they've never done that.
Wow.
So just a chance for more history. It seems like every big game Auburn plays in over the past 2 years has just had some sort of history to make, and that's the kind that they can in a few weeks or so. But yeah, I mean, just another great win for them. And yeah, I mean, I've never seen Auburn Arena like this before. That crowd truly was deafening. There was that time in the first half, and if anyone who's there knows what I'm talking about, where I think it was Maxey airballed a triple, and Auburn just started taking the ball up the floor, but the shot clock had been violated, and the refs were blowing it dead and trying to get him to inbound, but you couldn't even hear the whistle.
Couldn't hear it
because it was so loud. So certainly electric. Bruce didn't have to do much hyping up tonight because everybody was plenty loud.
Who is the Nate King MVP of this game?
The MVP of this game? That's a really great question. Man, Wiley was so good against Nick Richards, I thought. I've been watching a lot of Nick Richards recently, and he really was looking like an SEC Player of the Year candidate. I don't know. It was such a balanced effort by them. I would probably have to say just Samir Dowdy, not only, you know, because he led them in scoring, because obviously most of that came in the first half, but just his energy tonight. It's tough to describe if you weren't there, but I mean, look, it started with him corralling Bruce Pearl on the bench. I mean, he had his arms around Bruce and was telling him to calm down when Bruce was just absolutely livid. So he had that kind of leadership there about him. And then just at the end of the game, you know, even when he's not scoring, I truly do believe that tonight Auburn was at its best when he was on the floor, when he was facilitating the offense, because Javon had some struggles. So, yeah, I would probably have to say Samir, if not just for his leadership.
Are you surprised? Do you feel like we're watching a renaissance here for Okoro where he's kind of blossoming into an NBA stud right before our eyes? It seems like he's taken some big steps forward, Nate, these last, let's say, 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, excuse me. It's almost like the only thing he has to do now is make free throws. It seems like that's the only was he 3 for 11 tonight, something like that. It seems like that's the only part of his game that really needs to improve, because, I mean, he knocked down 2 huge 3-point shots there late in the game, the second of which I think Auburn scored 10 of the last 14 points after that, so he really kind of ignited the good finish for them. They made 5 out of their last 7 shots. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know many players in the country that are playing better than him right now, and I don't know how many more guys in the country are more NBA ready than him right now, because he just affects things on both ends of the floor so well. He did a really good job locking up whichever of those 3 Kentucky guards that Bruce Pearl asked him to. You know, they're all really talented, and he did a good job on all of them. So he's certainly, Auburn would probably have 3 or 4 more losses this season if he's not playing like a freaking lottery pick right now.
Yeah, and do you think ultimately he's going to be gone after this year?
I see no reality in which he stays. You know, at the beginning of the year, it's funny because, like, at the beginning of the year, we were just kind of saying, okay, maybe he'll develop into a lottery pick. I think a lot of people thought he'd be a first rounder, second rounder, but there was kind of that inkling of a chance. I just think there's no chance right now. I mean, you see this dude up in the top 5 sometimes, right? Like the top 5, top 10.
You got to go
in terms
then.
of projections, and he's just got a really high ceiling. I think there's no way. As much as fun as it would be to watch, you know, Sharif Cooper throw lobs at him, I'm not exactly sure we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, me neither. Nate, it's been great having you on the show. Your first time on the show, and of course, everybody here loves you. And Ruxpin demanded you, and he offered up money in your name tonight. He loves you. He thinks you're doing a great job. I do too, but he does too.
Well, thanks. I mean, I really do it all for Ruxpin. That's all what it is. That's how I get up in the morning.
Nate, you're a hero, and I thank you for all the great work you've done today.
All right, JJ, you're the man. I appreciate it.
See you, bro.
Yeah.
Young Nate, there he is. We've got a super chat that came through, a rare sticker super chat from Caddy Wumpus. Thank you, Caddy, with a thank you sticker. I am grateful. And I like that little pair who's like, word. TD says it's a crime Nate isn't on the brain drain every time. Well, you know what, TD? We can change that. We can make sure that young Nate gets on here. I just want to make sure you guys knew who he was. And, I mean, you definitely know now. And I always want to give B-Matt and Jay Lee, those guys have been doing it a long time. And Nate's, still kind of young. But we love Nate. Nate's doing a great job. And I'm hopeful that Nate's going to be sticking around a little bit longer. He's graduating in May, but we love Nate. And my man JB from the district says Nate is tremendous. Really like Nate, huh? Okay, good. Nate, me and Jay Lee are kind of poop talkers, and then Brian's kind of a straight shooter, and then Nate is kind of like he's a straight shooter, but he's kind of nerdy, but I mean in a good way. So he comes up with a lot of stats and stuff like that. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I got to try to talk his language. These youngs. I'm an old man or approaching an old man. AU Taxman says, can we get Ali D on the horn? If you guys want Ali, we'll get Ali on the horn because Ali would love to be on the show. I just want to make sure that AU Taxman is not speaking out of turn here and that everybody would hate to have Ali on the horn. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Alpha Tiger says, only if she's on video Skype. I don't really have a way to put her on video. And I don't know if I'd want to do that anyway. We love Allie. Allie's, she's great. Allie, for those of you who are kind of new to the scene, Allie was our intern for the better part of, 3+ years. Hoke and I hired her in October of 2013, I believe. It's either 12 or 13, and she stayed with us the whole way through college, and we love Allie. She's a very nice young lady. She's now working in the greater Atlanta area, and if you guys follow her on the Twitter, she's very pro-Auburn. She's an Auburn graduate, and she likes being an Auburn graduate. She's proud to be an Auburn graduate. She's fired up about football, I don't know as though she's a big Gus fan, but she's fired up about football, and she also likes basketball a lot. Oh, yeah. That's a little hotter. The Russell's a little hotter than I remember it being. Scott Blank says, can we see pics of Ali? Yes, you can see pics of Ali. Check her out on Twitter at Ali Davison. There is no D in the middle, so it's Davison. And as to whether you think she's hot or not, I'm not getting involved in that. Ali is like 25 years old, and I think of her as my second daughter, and so I don't really judge if she's hot or not. Like, I don't really see her that way. She's my daughter, kind of. She's not really my daughter. I just, she came to us when she was a teenager, and, I talked to her about what do you want to be, what do you want to become, and I gave her assignments that I felt like were going to help her become what she wanted to be, and she got there. And so I'm really happy for her. Scott wants to you want me to give you the Twitter handle? I don't know it right off the top of my head, bro. I would imagine it's going to be at Ali_Davison, no D in the middle. I would guess that's probably what it is. I don't know that for sure, and I'm not going to look it up right now. There can't be a lot of Ali Davisons on the Twitter. She hasn't answered me quickly. Who knows what Allie's up to? I mean, I don't know. I don't. She's got her own thing going. Whatever she's up to. Torque says she's hotter than Ben Wolk for sure. Ben posted a picture on Twitter the other day. He got engaged to his girlfriend, now fiance Sarah, who's a wonderful young lady, and posted it on the bunker. Yeah, he didn't, but some other folks did. And Jay Lee was like, I forget how. I don't want to waste Jay Lee's. He had a great line on it, though. Basically ragging on Ben for looking like a girl because he has long hair. I think Jay Lee's just jealous because he doesn't have any hair. But whatever. Speaking of daughter, ask your administrative assistant where Maddie's going to college. Where's Maddie going to college, administrative assistant? Administrative assistant thinks Transylvania University is in the front of the pack. I'm not so sure. I will say this: my daughter is at Auburn tonight. She's up at Auburn. Is she actually doing that? She went to. She's staying with one of her friends, Kat, and she actually administrative assistant lets me know that she actually was at Toomer's earlier. My daughter was. So, if you see Maddie out there, give her a holler. And be nice. It's not her fault that she's, my daughter. I don't even know if y'all would know, her if you saw her. She doesn't look like me. I don't think so. Looks like her mom. It's a good thing. Let's see. Love the Cat says I need to answer the phone. If you want to call in, bro, call in. I do see where I missed your call. I'm sorry about that. Is it really 9:51? Is that true? We've been going for 2 hours? Call Me Biscuit says South Alabama's free. You guys pay for medical school. It's not quite free, as you know, Biscuit. There's a lot of costs associated with it. Chip says she's at Sky Bar. I hope not. She's not quite drinking age yet, guys. I'm talking about my daughter. She's still a senior in high school, okay? Please be nice if you do come across her. Or her friend Kat. I'm sure Kat's going to take great care of her tonight. What'd you say? Parcheesi? Yeah, I'm sure. Sure. Well, I'm going to give Allie another minute or two, and then I'm probably going to wrap this bad boy up. Hell, I didn't realize it was almost 10 o'clock, you guys. I know Hornatius wants to go to 1 or whatever you said in the beginning. I don't think we're going to make it to 1 o'clock, bro. We've done a hell of a job. We've had an incredible day of super chatting, though. It's been insane. Cattywampus was our latest. I think you guys were asking for a total. It's kind of gauche, really, to ask me that, but that's pretty gauche. I don't know. I'll just say that we hit a record. The record was, AU Boss wants to know, why don't we call Jay Lee? Jay Lee hadn't answered me. Listen, man, when Jay Lee is out there hunting for recruits and stuff, a lot of times he just kind of has the phone in his pocket, and he can't really be bothered. He just kind of, when you're out there in the heat of the moment and you're talking to whoever, you're dealing with some shifty go-betweens or whatever, like you just don't have time to be talking. So I would love to have him on, but he's doing some stuff. Call Me Biscuit says, we're 2 hours in. It's almost halftime. Golly. Halftime? Goodness gracioses. I don't think so. I don't know how Ali's going to answer us, guys. I'm sorry. I should have worked ahead of time and gotten that set up, but I didn't. And who knows what she's up to. I mean, she's out there just socializing and doing her thing. So, of course, we support that. Allie's the best. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, guys. I can't even go through all of our super chatters because it's such a ridiculously long list. But you know what? We're going to do it because these people, can I do it? I don't even know if I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. All right, let's go through our super chatters tonight. This is a long list of luminaries. Fat Crack, BP got us started off. Hornacious, Ben B with his first one. He came through a few more times. Spread Attack U18 came through big talking about my daughter and getting that scholarship to Trancy. Jeffrey B. Nacho Hombre, who had a couple tonight. Canoe Man, Sparrow Empire, as always. Same for Canoe Man. J-Rob again. DXH had a huge one early on. Huge. Chipper, Cleve, Patrick, D had another huge night. Rain 8689 had a huge night. Chris A had a huge night. Call Me Biscuit had a huge night. Fat Crack again. Ruxpin C went off, guys. He went absolutely off there in the middle. I don't know what he was thinking, but I love him. Blake T. Webb came through in a big way. Cleve came through in a huge way. AU Boss, huge. Hickadula's back after a tough trip to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Stu Pup again for like the 50th straight time. Stu Pup's been here. Oh, my God. Stu Pup's been here the whole way. Patrick Duke just dropped another one, and I can't even get to that at the moment. It's crazy. You Are Tiger Bait. Huge. Ruxpin again. That was ridiculous. Fat Crack again. Love you, Fat Crack. Always here for us. Nacho Hombre again. Stu Pup again. Love the Cats, a.k.a. Hornacious again. Ben B again. Ruxpin again. Call Me Biscuit. Love you, guy. Love you, guy, so much. You're always here for us, man. Cattywampus late. And then we've got 3 coming in here late. Unbelievable. Call Me Biscuit again. What is the total? You earned it. The bunker doubles it next Kentucky game with a huge charity donation. What is the total? Let's just say that we're over $800. And we hit $600 in the UK Georgia game when I was stuck in Lexington because of that nasty weather that was going on at the time, and I didn't feel comfortable getting home. And we hit 600, and my mind was blown. We talked about it, and Oh, I'm sorry, Auburn. I was at UK, but Auburn was playing Georgia. I'm sorry. Let me straighten that out. And yeah, we hit 600 that day, and I was like, my brain melted. Largely because of Patrick Duke, but a bunch of other people too. And tonight we're over 800, and that's just insane to me. We're over 900 now because of Patrick Duke coming through again. AU who dat? No, AU why not? I'm sorry. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. I'm just blown away. You guys are the best. Love the Cats, a.k.a. Hornacious, says Tree Fitty to us shallow pockets. It ain't about the depth of the pockets, bro. It's about just being here, man, and you're always here. You're always here, Hornacious. You show up to all the Birmingham lunches, and you're not a huge dick, and no, you're always cool. I was just kidding. And you're always on the chats and stuff. And the hell, there was a show like 2 or 3 ago where you were doing something else. You were like a convention or something. You just checked in, super chatted, and got the hell out. That was awesome. Patrick Duke, who was making the roux earlier, I'm sure you've enjoyed that. He says gumbo is on point. Another hour or so. Oh, man. Yow. I don't know if I can go another hour, you guys. Why not AU? My bad. Patrick is Why Not AU. We've had him on the show as a caller before he became famous as the great super chatter, but back during football season. But of course, we love Why Not AU, aka Patrick. So yeah, this is absolutely insane. Call Me Biscuit says we're going to hit 2,000 for the next Kentucky game. Johnny B. Good says, oh my God. All right, Why Not AU? Seriously, stop. You got to stop, man. I love you. I really do. But you got to stop. He has just gone through again. This is insane. I just don't even know what to say about this. This is absolutely insane. The TD asks, did we break 1,000? We broke 1,000. We just did. Patrick D just broke 1,000. I think we've had like 25 super chatters tonight, and it's insane. I just don't even know what to say. I'm just floored. Thank you very much, all you guys who have come through on that. AU Boss says, great job tonight, AU, GGT, and Bunker. Yes, the chat is doing an incredible job tonight. It's been huge. Call Me Biscuit says, bam, 1K. TD says that we break 1,000. SD Tiger says, Jay, bring all the money up here to Auburn and we party downtown and celebrate taking down UK. Hey, we've got a Tate representative up there. Maddie is definitely up in that throng of folks that is celebrating up there. So thanks about that. Very nice. Man, huge. Cleve says, big night for the Brain Drain team, JGT. Yes, and you're a big part of that, Cleve. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Scott says, please send money to me. I can't do that. It's a team sport. Patrick D says, it's a team sport. We are rolling. We are rolling. I just don't know what else to bring you guys at this point. We talked about basketball, I think, as much as we can talk about this game. It's been a huge game. Huge game for Auburn. Huge day for Auburn. To get on game day for the first time ever, to beat Kentucky on national TV. Can they beat UK and Rupp? Don't see why not. Henry S. says, awesome work, Jay. Best from Australia. Keep it coming. Damn. Unbelievable. We're in Australia. I feel like so energized by that. Are you like an Auburn fan who happens to be in Australia at the moment? Or I'd like to know the story on that. That's pretty interesting. Alpha Tiger, who I know was you like your fellow Hellraisers, said R.I.P. T-Town Tiger 87. Looks like his evening was stuffed last night. What? Interesting choice of words there. We've got some texts coming in. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, okay, so some of you guys are like summoning Ali on the show here. Yes, okay, so we got, I don't want to say your name, but somebody's summoning Ali. And Ali says, I told JG I wish I could, y'all go listen. And then Ali texted me and said she was out and she wasn't really in position to get on the show tonight. So I appreciate her getting back with me. Everybody loves Allie. Oh, Patrick is? I'm sorry. Doggone, I'm missing calls, aren't I? Why not? If you want to holler at me, holler at me. Yeah, you know the number, bro. I will keep this thing, I will keep the Skype up front so I'll pick it up. Allie says, no one asking for me. Like, everybody's asking for you, Allie. Come on. Like, literal, here, she likes to say literally. I'll say literally everyone. I don't see why she couldn't just kind of step to the side and just take a little call. You know what I mean? Oh, is that what she's trying to say? Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
JG, it's Why Not AU.
What up, man? You were like you're a bad man tonight again.
No. I'm just feeding off all the others' energy, you know.
Well, there certainly is a lot of energy, bro. How was that gumbo? Because I am hungry for some gumbo, bro.
Oh, it's still being made. It's a love affair, man. The roux itself takes about an hour, and then you gotta,
Wow.
cook everything else. So I don't know. I'm on Eastern time, so it'll probably be about 1 a.m. before I get it all done.
And then
It's for tomorrow, though.
it's
tomorrow.
for the Super Bowl, of course. Shit, my bad. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You got a team in that game?
Well, we're an Eagles family, so we got Andy Reid love, so we'll pull
sure.
for the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay. I don't really have a dog in that fight. I'm excited to see the game, though. I think it's two really good teams. I want to see how that goes down.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I mean, let's hope it's a much better game than San Francisco passing only 8 times like they did the last game, but oh well.
Your thoughts on this win against Kentucky, man? I know you think this is a big one right here.
Yeah, no, it was great. I thought just physically and mentally we beat them down. It was kind of over time, right? It wasn't anything swift, but over time we just wore them out. Going to the basket and attacking them, knowing they only had an 8-man rotation, was brilliant. We got fouls on them, and it wasn't, whatever their fans want to say they can say, but we got the lion's share too of bad calls. I mean, the refs are the refs, but ultimately what we did is we executed a game plan. We got them in foul trouble. We weren't making all the shots we wanted to make, but we played a good game and we won. So there you go.
There you go. And you're right. Got Ashton Hagans fouled out. You got Quickly fouled out. Although it was late, but they still needed him badly in the last minute. You're right. They're just attacking those guys and getting them knocked out of the game. That was a big deal.
Yeah, it was, one by one. And I'll say this. We did the same thing against Ole Miss. We knew they had a lack of depth. We fortunately stayed in that game as well. And over time, we just wore them down. And that's what we're going to have to do. I mean, LSU is formidable. They got some inside guys that'll just mash you up. But we can beat those guys at home. We're just going to have to play tough. I still don't understand why Will Wade is not in jail yet. I'm still waiting on that shoe to drop.
I'm shocked myself. Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he was up here at VCU too. I'm in Richmond, but he should have been in jail after that. But anyway, what are we going to do?
Dude, Samir played for him up there, so, we don't want to give him too much hell.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But, yeah, I'm not going to take too much time. The guys on the and gals on the chat don't really like callers that much, but just wanted to say thank you. A big war damn Eagle. And, hey, man, go Bruce. The guy just he puts our university out there like nobody else has. And I've said this before to you on the calls. Alan Green should go and say, here are the qualities of Bruce Pearl. And every coach for every sport that we ever go and hire, every coach for every sport that's there that wants a bonus should exhibit those qualities, or they should be gone, or they shouldn't get a bonus. He's perfect. Perfect representative.
Yeah, he's perfect. I mean, he's perfect in every way. He wins. He's a great marketer. He loves Auburn. He's great. There's no – he really is. He makes everybody else look bad,
Yeah, he's great, man. So, we got 3 games in front of us. It's going to tell a lot about who we are. We really got to take Bama. We cannot let them come off the mat and start to get an edge or any inkling of an edge in recruiting. They already have enough talent that was left over from the recruiting they did with their former coach. And, Oates does not need any momentum. Just the history in the state between those 2 schools and basketball has been in their favor. Let's not be silly about it. So we need to beat the crap out of them. I almost said a bad word, but I heard you were trying to do better, so I'm trying to do better.
Yeah, we don't want to cuss. We don't want to cuss.
Yeah, but I want to just blow them off the court. That's the game I want to just destroy them, because we need to keep them down and put a hobnail boot on their throat.
Yeah, like that time in '97, it was like 98-45 or something like that. That was crazy.
Yes, we talked about that on one of our calls previously.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mr. Hobbs.
Old David Hobbs.
Down.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, man, hey, I'm going to let you go. Great game, great show. Love all the folks on the Super Chat. Proud of what we're doing, and let's just keep it up.
All right, man. I appreciate you so much for your generosity, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a team sport, man. See ya, JG.
All right, bro. See ya.
Bye.
Why not AU from the East Coast? From the Eastern Seaboard, as the kids say. Unbelievable. Call Me Biscuit says, JGT makes $2 an hour putting up with us and people like T-Town Tiger 87. It's a 24-hour job. It kind of is. Some people get mad when we don't take gnarly posts down like immediately, but sometimes we're doing other stuff. I try to get to them as quickly as I can, and I think my administrative assistant would acknowledge that I'm on the board a lot. Like, I check it first thing in the morning at like, it depends on the morning, but sometimes that's 6 a.m., sometimes that's 7:30, and then I check it all day until I go to bed at like 11 or something. Yeah, so try to be there as much as I can. And Why Not AU? Huge. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity today and previously too. You have set the tone and paved the way for how this thing works. Unbelievable. Yeah, OWT Cider says when you're dropping coin like that, you can call and talk as much as you like, brother. Absolutely. And he's good. We had him on a long time before he was doing that. So, yeah. Keeping him eligible. Keeping him eligible is one of the good ones from you're going the Wayback Machine there. I think you called in on our first show. I think the Oregon show or somewhere earlier like that. How much has Pat Duke donated tonight? I'll let him handle that. I don't really want to get into that specific number. I just appreciate him a whole lot. Absolutely. Just always supporting the show, man. Always jumping in the chats and doing the super chat thing and just always being here. Mark Lee thinks that Bruce could auction his sweat-stained jackets without a problem. Absolutely. People be throwing money at him to get that stuff. Auburn people love them some Bruce Pearl, and I totally understand it. As a follow-up, Ali got with me and said, shut up, no chance, LOL. So we are not getting Ali on here tonight. I mean, who knows what she's up to? It could be anything. She might be on a date. She might be in a bar. She might be at the point listening to Kenny Loggins and considering her life choices. Who knows? Who knows? You don't know where Allie might be. TD says he's a great caller talking about Why Not AU. Absolutely. Rational and reasonable. The best kind of callers, really. You are talking about says we could have tied Super Chats to a split for Outlive. Yeah, we should. We got to do something like that. Absolutely agree. We'll figure something out. Figure something out on that. I always felt like the bunker. We were actually talking about this like 5 years ago. It was Auburn Smith and BP and Mike CB, and we were all talking about kind of like starting. And I think Keller might have been involved. That's Knotted Shorts, maybe. And we were talking about like creating a bunker like philanthropy arm where we would come up with some kind of there's Ali D. Ali, we don't know where you are. I wanted you to come on the show and you said you weren't feeling it and I get it. Yeah, who knows what you're up to? I don't know. I'm not judging either. You're probably having a great time and I'm chilling here on the air. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I want you to be out there and having fun. I want you to live your best life. I always told you that. What was I talking about? Administrative assistant. Whatever it was, I was pretty fired up about it. But the donations. Yeah. So we were talking about making a philanthropy arm for the bunker. We were going to call it like, and we hadn't come up with a name yet, but it was called like Bunker Cares or something. And we would, one way or another, through whatever avenue we would raise money and then we would donate it. At the time, we were really worried about the champ and the treatments that he was having to endure at the time. Hayden, and you guys remember that, BP Rockman did a lot of work to kind of help Hayden, and Hayden's been doing good, doing better. And we just never really quite got it all nailed down or whatever. It was kind of like, it was like Call Me Biscuit, like a charity type thing. Let's see. Damon K says BP calls into the brain drain for super chats to Outlive. That's actually, I think that BP might actually do that. I mean, I get along with BP good, and Yeah, he would probably do that, actually. OWT Cider says, make reasonable choices, Allie. I don't know if she has to make reasonable choices. She just got to be, we trust Allie to be making great choices, of course. We don't even need to say that. I mean, she does great work. We're very proud of Allie. She's come a long way. Remember her? She's a young freshman, didn't even know what she wanted to do, and now she's badass. Out there dominating, doing her thing. As Ruxpin says, Nate King, keep doing your thing. What have we beat you down, Allie? Have we just bothered you so much that you're actually going to come on? Allie says she'll come on, Court. I don't even know if I want to. I mean, if she didn't want to come on, I don't want to intimidate her to come on. Oh, I don't. Of course I don't. Love the Cat says only a few OGs left. I don't even know if that's true. We still probably have a great group of people out there. 100. Yeah, we're 150? That's great. On our midweek game, we had 60 because it's midweek or whatever, Everybody's going to work the next day. It's like midnight, But here during the weekend, 5 o'clock. Call Me Biscuit says 501c Bunker Cares. Lots of lawyers set it up on the bunker and go from there. I mean, I'm open to it for sure. And I mean, I think there's people that really want to get involved and do that. And I think it would be really cool for Auburn sports as a group to do things like that. I mean, we don't have to do it every day or anything. I'm just saying 2 or 3 times a year, we do something. I hadn't really thought it through as far as what we would do and what we would benefit and who we would benefit or whatever. I mean, would it be St. Jude? Would it be something else? I don't know. But we have, as you guys have seen on this show, I mean, such incredibly generous folks. We have a lot of folks. You would be amazed at the reach that Auburn Sports gets, how many people are subscribers, how many people read our stuff. I mean, I was in the post office yesterday, and dude, stopped me and was like, "You're JG Tate, aren't you?" And I was like, "How'd you guess?" It may have been the hair. He's probably I don't know anybody else that bleaches their hair like that, dipshit. But anyway, yeah, he was another AuburnSports.com guy that he doesn't post. Most of the time, the people always go, "I don't post," but blank, blank, blank. I was like, no, we got lots and lots and lots of members who don't post. I mean, if she wants to come on, man, I'll take her, but otherwise. Sorry, I was going to text Allie, and I mean, if she really wants to come on, we'll talk about it. Call Me Biscuit says it's too late, Allie. It's too late. We've already gotten past the nexus. She's fixing to answer me. Here, I'd rather her call in, honestly. Here, I'll give her the number. We're actually going to have Allie on, so there you go. Let me get this number. It's there you go, Allie. See if you click on that, I think it'll send it through. Let's see. Why Not AU says he's originally from Hueytown, but he's been in Richmond, VA since 2004. 15 years. We had one of our, me and my administrative assistant had a good friend who lived in Richmond, who is now deceased, passed away. No, I'm just saying. Passed away. Happens sometimes. People in Richmond don't live forever, Courtney. People in Louisville don't live forever. Guess who we have calling in right now? I think I know who that is. Hello? Hey, Allie D. Allie, are you on there for reals?
Oh, hi. You're on mute. Sorry.
Why did you have me on mute, Allie?
I'm so sorry. I have fat fingers. I don't know what you want me to say.
Allie D, the folks have been clamoring for you, and I'm very glad to have you on the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna call BS, but I'll take it anyway.
You know I wouldn't BS you, Allie. Come on now.
I don't know about that, but
So I know you're pretty fired up. You were really fired up going into this game. You were really hoping to see an Auburn W, and then you got it. What's your reaction now?
I mean, I hate it for the Alabama fans who had to take 2 losses today. Like, that really sucks.
Yeah, I know. You're really feeling for them.
Yeah, I truly feel for them. I feel really bad for Tony Barbie, who had to watch it courtside. That must suck, too. But for Auburn fans, I'm so pumped. I hope the students are living their best lives, because what I would have killed for to have that to look forward to in the spring. I hope they're all at Sky Bar making poor decisions and knowing that Bruce Pearl is leading them to a dynasty.
Have you ever made a poor decision at Sky Bar?
Oh, no. I don't do that, but I know other people who have.
Yeah, my daughter's actually up there tonight. I'm not saying it's Sky Bar, but she's up Toomer's Corner tonight, so I'm concerned. I wish you were there to kind of keep an eye on her.
Oh, trust me. If she ends up going to Auburn, I will make sure she knows all the right things to do and say.
Word. It's very nice of you. Obviously, you're a big fan of Tony Barbie. Just talk about how he's changed your life.
Let's see. I think one of the only basketball games I ever covered, he was so mean to me. I wanted to cry. So that was fun. He literally made being a student in the spring so bad, because I was also there for Sonny Galloway. So we had that to deal with in the spring. So those are really fun times as an Auburn student.
What did Tony do to you? Does he just yell at you or what?
He was just like really mean. Like, he basically treated me like I was like a ball girl kind of. And there's nothing wrong with ball girls, but like, I'm sitting there asking you a question about why your team sucks so bad, and I'm sorry, you can't answer that because you don't know.
He didn't have an answer for you. We've got folks on the chat, Ali, that are basically just offering their lives to you. Alpha Tiger says, ask Ali D if she'll marry me. He is a premature dad bod at 30, but he has an income that justifies it. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Look, as you get older, you start to realize that sometimes looks don't matter as much as someone who can take care of you. So.
Oh. Speaking of that,
and I am 26, so I'm getting up there.
Are you? You're 26?
I know. Isn't that sad for you and me?
I know. I met you at like what, 17 or 18, maybe?
Yeah, I just turned 18.
Yeah, wow. You're Maddie's age. You're literally Maddie's age. Like when I met you.
I know. Isn't that wild?
I was so glad that
I'm
glad you stuck it out with us for so long. You did a great job.
Thanks. I will say, there's a lot of legacy I left behind that I'm not sure if the people behind me have kept up with, but, hopefully Nathan King's doing a decent job.
He's been tremendous, Ali. I don't know if he has your,
awesome.
You're so relatable. I don't know if Nate's quite as relatable as you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if relatable is the right word.
But you're basically over in Atlanta just dominating now, and that's great,
Yeah, I'm living my best life in the ATL. So if anyone's in the ATL, we watch games at the Bucket Shop, so y'all should come watch with. The
Bucket Shop, that's like the Auburn hub, I guess?
Yeah, for Atlanta.
Oh,
I think there's like another one, but I think that's for like older people, so I don't know where that is. But the Bucket Shop's like right in the middle of Buckhead.
Word, that sounds like fun. Maybe I'll come one of these days.
You should. Buckets are only $12.
I'm too old. I'm way too old, Ali.
No, Jay, you're young at heart. We all know that.
I love that you slap around some of the Bammers on Twitter sometimes, though. I think they need it.
Yeah, I truly enjoy slapping around Georgia fans more, but they're definitely non-relevant at this current season of the year. But Alabama fans are really fighting for an NIT spot. So just got to keep rooting on for what's best for the state.
Making friends left and right, Ali. Hey, listen.
I do what I can. You know that.
Whatever you were up to, I appreciate you breaking off some time to talk to us here on the show. You're the best.
I love y'all. Love you. I hope you have a great rest of your show.
All right, Ali. You be good. And make great choices out there, okay?
Always. Never know.
See ya. All right, that's Ali D. Look at that. She came through. Just like you guys were like, oh, I'd like to have Ali. She came through. Put down whatever she was doing, came on the show. Because Ali's a team player. She's a baller, and we love Ali D. So there you go. Mr. Raven P, you say, I'm trying to figure out the context of what you were saying. I think it was funny, but I just couldn't tell the context. Alpha Tiger says, didn't realize she was in Atlanta. Wonder if she likes the burbs. I mean, she said she likes to watch the games in Buckhead, so that's a burb, isn't it? Of course, that's where I saw Steel Panther at the Buckhead Theater. One of the greatest nights of my life. Absolutely, man. Got to hear all their classics. What's it? Glory Hole, Eatin' Ain't Cheatin', Tomorrow Night, Asian Hooker. What else, Cord? Anything I'm missing? Poontang Boomerang. That's a classic. No, I don't remember that one. Call Me Biscuit says, damn, Allie's impressive after drinking at Bucket Shop and calling in. See? Allie knows how to handle her liquor. She's partied a time or two in her life. She's a good Auburn girl. Raven says, she said that there was another place where older people watch the games. Okay, now I get where you're coming from now. They call that place the meat market. Oh. Allie, I don't want to keep talking about Allie too much. She's a private person in private enterprise now. She's not part of the crew per se. Oh, yes. My man. I don't want to say your name, though. But my man at, we'll just call him D, Mr. D, who went to the Steel Panther concert with us in Atlanta, says the Cherry Bombs were there for the Steel Panther show. That was the warm-up act, I guess, Court, where they were doing like what do you call it, boudoir dancing or something like that. I don't know. What do you call it? Corey. That's huge. AU Taxman says, when in Buckhead, you must stop by Tower Beer and Wine for their excellent bourbon selection. Now, that sounds like a good spot there. I would love to go by a place that has an excellent bourbon selection, because the last time that a Tate representative went to Atlanta, they drank all the bourbon and didn't bring any back. She's like, hey, I'm going up for a girls' trip. What bourbon should I take? And I'm like, take anything but the Blantons. And she says, the Blanton sounds great. I'll take that. And I'm like, please don't do that. Anyway, they destroyed an entire bottle of bourbon, of Blanton's. Our last bottle, I should say. Okay, there's 10% left. Unbelievable. Raven says, what are you drinking? Tonight I was drinking, everybody says I'm drunk. I don't feel like I am. Drinking this Russell's single barrel. It's good. I taste a lot of cherry when I drink it. It's very cherry forward, if you would. Cherry forward and oaky. Not in a bad way, like a good way. It's delicious. It's good. The reason I bought this was because on Reddit there is an R bourbon group, and those dudes are really serious about their bourbon now, and they generally consider Russell's Reserve single barrel to be a really, really good, consistent, tasty bourbon that you can get every day. And so I decided I had to try it, and I think they were fair. I think that's a fair assessment. The next one I want to try, hopefully I'll have this for the next show, would be the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Also was very highly regarded by that group of, that esteemed august body of bourbon connoisseurs. So Johnny B. Good says, you've been drunk for 60 to 90 minutes. No. Now, I know, that's actually, she mentioned that Cousin Eddie mentioned on the movie Christmas Vacation. He's like, she's in the clinic getting cured off a wild turkey, and it's kind of stuck in my head ever since that I don't want to get cured off the wild turkey. Call Me Biscuit jumps in with a super chat, says, where did all the super chatters go? Pay up, boys. Where is Broderick? where in the world is Broderick? He's with Carmen San Diego. Canoe Man just shove it in my face, says Blanton's here tonight. Keeping him eligible says he also broke out the Blantons tonight. Oh, man, that sounds delicious. I sure wish I had some to drink. Yeah, like a little, I don't know, you call it backwash or whatever. I don't even know who's been drinking out of that. You or some of those other ladies. I do, yes. Like all those ladies. I guess I could give them a shout out, first names only. Obviously, the administrative assistant Courtney, and then Bridget and Becky and Sonia and Crystal would be the crew, right? Love all those girls. Great girls. Some of them love me more than others. Don't know as though they all love me, but it's okay. I can be a little much. They hang out with me in the Dominican when I'm really, really lit, and I'm getting shit on by that chick from Portsmouth, England, who said I was a typical Yankee. No, typical drunk Yankee is what she called me. I was like, I resent that. I'm not a Yankee. I live in the South, and I've never even lived in the North. So get off my nuts, English chick. And I didn't really want to talk too much smack at her because she was actually being cool, but, you know, she was trying to emasculate me, and I didn't like it. And it's not like her husband was going to do anything about it. They were both like 75 years old. That dude could barely walk. He sounded like B-Matt just sitting at the damn bar. Like, AU Taxman says, had some rare breed earlier. Is that good? I've never even considered a wild turkey product until tonight. Russell's is actually in the wild turkey family and is good. Again, I taste a lot of cherry in there. I don't know if you guys do. Oh, we got a super chat sticker, no less, from AU Boss. He's got the pair like flying through the air. Unbelievable. Thank you, AU Boss. That's your second one of the night, too. I think you had a traditional super chat earlier. Thank you very much for your support of what we do here on the Brain Drain. And, of course, also, you are a luminary on the bunker as well. So thank you for your time. Call Me Biscuit says, Old Forester Statesman, neat with a large glass of water like JGT taught me. You've got to stay hydrated. I'm telling you, that's the number one key to avoiding hangovers is to stay hydrated. It's that simple. Michael M. says, Arkansas, will we beat them? I would say that Auburn's got a 60% chance of beating Arkansas. Let's see what Ken Palm has to say about that. I can pull that up real quickly, very quickly. Ken Palm's giving Auburn a 38% chance to win that game. Just because Arkansas is good at home in general, although they just lost to South Carolina the other day at home. But anyway, Ken Palm's definitely calling that one for Arkansas. By the way, the next few games, Ken Palm, for if you consider that to be a legitimate source, has Auburn as a 62% chance to beat LSU at home, 69% chance to beat Alabama at home, 64% chance to win at Missouri, 61% chance to win at Georgia, 75% chance to win at home against the hated Tennessee Volunteers, which are not what they used to be, an 86% chance to beat Ole Miss at home. So if they are able to get over this Arkansas hump, which is formidable, I've seen a lot of decent Auburn teams go to Arkansas and lay eggs. If they can get over that and somehow get away with a win there, the quality of opponent slips a little bit. Now, we've talked about LSU being good, and they are. I don't know if they're like super good. And that game's at Auburn Arena, and Auburn generally plays pretty well at Auburn Arena. So, yeah. Ken Palm, aside from the Arkansas game, the next game that Ken Palm thinks Auburn will lose is at Kentucky on Saturday, February 29. I may go to that one, you guys. Huh? It's Leap Day. Oh, you're right. It's an unusual day, isn't it? I may go to that game if it's in Rupp. If Auburn just rips off like 7 or 8 wins here, hell, at that point it would be like 10 or 11. I feel like I would need to be there to see that one. And then just kind of looking ahead, Auburn would finish up at home against A&M, and then their last game is at Tennessee. Still a lot of basketball left to be played. Sometimes people write things in the chat that I think are hilarious, but I don't want to say on the show. Alpha Tiger just ripped one of those off. Call Me Biscuit says, get him, Alpha. You're closer to Ali with your next super chat. Talking about that wild turkey rare breed, AU Taxman says seriously some of the best affordable bourbon available, and it's usually almost always on the shelf. You can find that. That's a very important part of a bourbon you like, is that you can actually find it. I think a lot of us enjoy the Elijah Craig small batch because you can find that pretty much all the time. I wish that you could find Four Roses more often. That is a delicious bourbon that I think should be more available, and Eagle Rare should be more available. That is not an expensive bourbon. I wish that was more available. I don't feel like the ABC people here in Alabama work hard enough to keep our shelves stocked with stuff like that people really want. My opinion. Let's see. Michael M. says Arkansas beat Bama on the road tonight. I did not know that. I know that Alabama was missing dudes, though. They had some dudes that were sick and a dude that was injured, and they just weren't quite what they normally are. TD says Arkansas will be really tough. Would love to go to that game. That's a fun place to go to games. I haven't been in a minute. I like Arkansas just as a place to go. I like their little athletic quadrant or whatever you want to call it, where you kind of, I mean, for me, I park at the bottom of the hill and you walk up the hill and football's at the top, and then you've got track and field like in the middle, and then you've got the arenas like on the other side of track and field. It's a nice little area there. I think it's pretty scenic there too. It's just a long way to go. Long way to go. Call Me Biscuit says he loves the bunker. Graduated Auburn in 91. Oh, you're close to my age. Lots of fun following my 5th or 6th basketball season. Glad to have you following basketball, Biscuit. Canoe Man says Eagle Rare is fantastic. Yeah, I don't know if you missed this earlier, but I've got a friend, Chris, last name redacted, who's apparently bringing me some from a business trip in the southern part of the United States. I'm really fired up if he actually does produce those. That would be awesome. I have no idea, TD, why what you just said on the chat would be blocked, but I'm going to clear it. It just says Fayetteville is a fun town. Love Dixon Street. I guess because it says Dix. Nothing rude about that at all. Call Me Biscuit says Tower has every bourbon you mentioned. Weller, Four Roses, Willet, etc., etc. Administrative assistant loves some Willet. She loves. Is that your all-time favorite? Yeah, I know. I try to keep you away from the Blantons, as we've learned already. You weren't supposed to drink that whole damn thing. The least you could do would be to find some and replace it, right? I'm sure you can. A lifetime of support and love and admiration. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up here, guys. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Canoe Man says pot still. Yes, she loves the pot still straight up bourbon. It's not bourbon. It's rye whiskey. Willet. Yeah. Pot still stuff. We have a half gallon downstairs, don't we? We got a Big Daddy at the distillery. We thought it was a great price. We paid $90 for it, I think. And then we saw it at like their version of ABC in Lexington. It was like $93. We were like, great. Scored a big deal there. All right, guys. So here's the deal. So we're at 2 hours and 49 minutes now, officially. And that is our longest basketball show by a good margin. I think the longest we've gone before was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. We've broken records for length of time. We broke records for super chatting. And all around, it's just been a fun night. And, of course, Auburn was victorious over the hated UK Wildcats, so that's good, too. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. You guys have been incredible. We've had great numbers. We've had a bunch of folks watching. We're still at 130. It's incredible. And to think we topped out the other night at like 95. But, I mean, it was the middle of the week. Call Me Biscuit says he's going to go to Willet because of me. I'm just saying it's a really fun place to visit because it's what blew me away about it is so small. Like there's only 40 full-time people that work for Willet total in the whole world. And that includes the gift shop girls and the accountants and the people who work in the little restaurant bar they have upstairs. I mean, it's just a very small operation, but obviously they make great stuff. And I really enjoyed it. It was just small. That blew me away. UR Tiger Bite says, great show. Get some rest, y'all. We got some late super chats coming in. Call Me Biscuit. Appreciate you, bro. And Canoe Man, fantastic show as always. Thank you. No, thank you for being here, Canoe Man. And Call Me Biscuit says, end it. Alpha Tiger says, zip it up and zip it out. Cleve says, great time tonight, JGT. Man, you guys have just been incredible. It's been a record-setting night here on the show. And I am super, super, super grateful for you guys being here, for you guys super chatting, for super stickering, whatever that was. And just being a big part of the community. We got a lot of folks on here who are great bunker posters, and some of you guys aren't on the bunker. If you're not, you got to check it out at auburnsports.com. It's a cool site. That's my opinion because I run it, but we've got great folks. Brian Matthews covers the team for us. Nate King covers the team for us. Jeffrey does recruiting for us. And, of course, I do this kind of stuff and whatever else. So, yeah, that's the situation. If you're not a member there, you really ought to be. So we'll wrap it up. We'll be back. It looks like Tuesday night. February 4th. Is that Tuesday, Court? It is. And that's going to be the Arkansas game. It's a 6 o'clock tip, so we'll be able to do that and get on the air about 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 for our friends in the Eastern Time Zone. And our friends in Alaska, it'll be earlier. We'll just leave it at that and leave it there, too. So appreciate it, guys and gals. Great record-setting night, and couldn't do it without you guys. So I'll leave it there. Until I see you again, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Peace.